Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Matt Murray.
Hello.
You all right? What was the delay there, Matt?
I was on mute because I muted myself during the intro because I didn't want to have to.
Sorry,
you know.
it happens.
It's like a 20-second intro. Would you have to?
Yeah, what's going on there?
I was just do it just in case any background sounds.
Just do it.
Yeah, don't have a go.
do it, baby.
It happens.
Do
Oh,
it.
we did. James,
I didn't start
come
talking like you, James. I just waited a few seconds. It'll be lost in the edit. It's fine.
Wait, what was that? I didn't start talking like you, James. What are you talking about?
When James talks on edit, when James
Yeah,
talks when he's
for the
muted.
podcast listener, it's the same result, Matt. It's
it's
it'll
not,
be a
'cause-
weird bit of silence.
I don't know. If I was editing, I'd probably just take that out. But that's just me.
No, I'm going to make it longer.
Oh, good,
James
please do.
Farley is here. James
Hello.
Farley, how are you?
Yeah.
And I didn't really care. Sean Bell is in the house.
Hello.
Hi, Sean. You all
It's
right?
me. I'm in a house.
Hey, up.
You in the house?
You're right.
How's it going?
We would like
That's
to
how I
start
talk,
the
isn't
show.
it, Dave?
It is. It is pretty accurate. That is how you talk. And we all love you for it. If I'm honest, it's part of your charm.
Not everyone. You didn't see the feedback form this week. It's,
Oh no, I haven't seen the feedback form, but I'm looking forward to getting to it. Before
no,
we get there,
I've deleted it. It's
Oh,
people,
really? It's
People
someone
being
just said
nasty pricks
censoring.
again.
okay, I missed that. Sorry about that.
That's
And
all right.
bringing that up on the show, Patreon
okay.
producers for this month, they are. This is the Full Nels crew. Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights to Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Thomas, Tom S, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin the Car Wanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, My Dog Skip, Dean, Evil Mammal, Don Whiskerando, and Boza Karma. Thank you so much for supporting us at the Full Nels tier. We really do appreciate it. Look, I don't want to say woe is me or anything. There have been a lot of games come out, but last month was very expensive.
It's been
and
insane,
we would
yeah.
not be able to cover as many games as we have without your support. So thank you so much.
It's not just games. I had to repair my door this week, and which was pretty
Not really what it's
I
for.
mean,
No.
Not really what it's
not
for.
a valid business expense. B,
it is because I have to get into the place to
B
use.
who broke the
you know.
door, James?
Oh,
I
yeah.
did by accident.
Also, James has now talked about it, so therefore you can claim it.
That's
true, yeah.
We do need to cover that. What happened? Explain it. So you got locked out on Sunday. I love James as well because he has to then keep telling us that he's still locked out, which is fair enough.
No,
I'm quite happy to hear it. But
This was on. It wasn't on Sunday. It was on a Monday. No.
Okay.
Was it on Tuesday? No, Thursday. It was Thursday last week.
If it was
Oh,
on
right.
Monday,
Change
it
the story.
would have been.
Yeah,
would have been
bit
like, well, he's
more
not doing the show. He's trying to
newsworthy.
get out of it.
oh
Again.
yeah.
That's true. That's very true. But no, it was on a Thursday, and so Chen and I went out and came
First
back,
mistake.
and then realised that I'd left my keys in the house, and no one had any other keys to get into the house, and so it took 8 hours until we got back into the house, which was
Can I
annoying,
ask a question?
and cost over €500, which was
Wow.
nice.
So when you leave the house, you don't lock the door. It just automatically locks. Is that the?
Yeah. And
That's
but I
most
did,
houses, isn't it?
but I did that stupid thing where I also
guess-
left the key in the lock on the other side. Which is
Oh.
that's why it was so expensive to get back in, because it was like they had to drill the door. It took
Right.
ages.
Did you try to break the door down?
No, I did not do that. No.
mate,
You want to break a
why
window
not?
as well?
That's your opportunity. That's where you
Yeah.
can go, right, I'm going to kick the shit out of the door.
Well, that's the thing.
I reckon he was wearing trainers, and he was like, "Oh, you see, if I had my boots on, I'd be able. But I can't. I've only got." You know.
If I had done that, I definitely would have got Chen to film it, so then she could have sent it to you.
Mate, I would have
of
loved
me
it.
In
failing.
slow-mo.
I'd have loved it.
And he says,
One of those-
guys, I can't pod. I've got a broken foot.
I just imagine James taking a step back and then running at the door, and then a James-shaped hole in the door, like in the running motion. Like, I'd love to have seen that. Well, I'm glad you've got a door with the money. I, however, spent some Patreon money on a new microphone this week. Thank you so much. I was tempted, right? Genuinely, because you've seen what my Blue Yeti looks like, right? It is scarred to shit, because when I first got it, and I bought it for Dark Calls when we did Dark Calls, so it's like over 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I used to have to keep packing it away, so it's chipped and it's dented and it's absolutely battered. And I thought, what I'm going to do is take a photo of how bad this mic is and then post it on like Blue Sky or something and say, hey, look, it's time to put this one to bed.
See if you can get a free one.
Well, no, not to see if I could get a free one, because I was genuinely in my head thought people would love this. And I just thought, and then as I was taking a photo of it, I thought, it's an old Blue Yeti, Dave. No one gives a fuck. What are you doing?
Did you think it's
what
like
sort of arrogance have you got?
It's like you're a footballer hanging up your boots.
Yeah.
For the last time.
I was thinking more like, this is the old guitar that wrote, Teen Spirit. It's like, look at this, man.
That is exactly what it was.
Yeah,
that's exactly what was going through my head.
Seen some things, man.
Oh man, the history I've had with this bad boy. Those magic moments I created with this beast.
You can see the history in every scratch, every dent.
I
wish you had. That would have been incredible.
I really caught myself and just thought, fuck
gutting.
off, Dave, you bellend. But if you would like to support the show,
see that,
then
follow us on Patreon.
Go to patreon.com/TCGS. Honestly, really, it genuinely, the games that we cover, the vast majority of them are paid for by you guys, and the same with our audio equipment and all that stuff. It's been a very expensive couple of months, but we really do appreciate your support. Thank you. Patreon.com/TCGS. And of course, we did our Jump Space Patreon stream last week.
Oh,
fucking disaster. If you want to see 4 guys struggle with a video game, then please. And you know what I liked about that stream is that right at the end, so we all paid for the game, right? Again, this is all coming out of Patreon or whatever, so no problems with that. But at the end of it, I can't remember who said it. One of us said, we should have just done Skate, and we all went, oh yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about James getting a refund.
Yes, we will do. So Sean, what do you want to explain what went wrong with the Jump Space Patreon stream?
It was really sad because you could tell there was something there. We knew this was it was game preview, early access, whatever you want to call it. So we knew it wasn't going to be slick, but it really was quite a mess, wasn't it? Like, two main things. One, it did not work on the Series S. James checked afterwards, and it turned out that is a widespread issue. Doesn't work on the Series S. That's pretty severe. And two, like obviously there was little bugs. I was getting screen tearing and stuff like that. But basically, initially we were like, "Oh no, this could be really fun actually." And then we kind of hit like a fail state in the mission we were doing, but the game didn't really communicate that in any way. So we were just like, no, because I was dead. James had already been kicked out of the game. And we were like, no, there must be a way to get me back up, because it hasn't come up and said, no, you've failed, you need to restart. So we were just kind of pushing against it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a team wipe or something, like a squad wipe, so you might have in Destiny, but there was no like, look, you're all dead, start again. It's just like, you're mostly dead, but carry on. Yeah,
we just sort of found ourselves in a dead end, but the game didn't communicate that. So we were trying to persist when we should have just restarted, and then we ended up just stopping entirely.
So if you would like to see that,
we made our own fun, as we always do. Can't recommend the game yet, sadly.
Yeah, I thought it was just me at the end, and like there was unfortunately a bug that just meant we couldn't progress even after that. So, but I've still got something.
What made me laugh a lot is that at the end of it, we said, "Do you know what? Let's hang on to this." And then see how it. And Joe's like, I've asked for a refund. I was like, okay, all right.
You can't blame him. It didn't work at all.
No, absolutely, you can't blame him. I'm not having a problem with that. But I was tempted to get a refund myself, to be honest with you, but I didn't. Also, one more thing to plug before we get to the feedback. We've added a second date to Ian Lee's Imposter Syndrome. I say we, I mean Ian has, and said, do you want to do another show with me? So for those of you that said, I can't get to Milton Keynes on a Sunday, this one's on a Saturday the 7th of February 2026 at the Rondo Theatre in Bath. Please come along. Tickets are available. So if you search Rondo Theatre Ian Lee on Google, they will come up. Imposter Syndrome on Saturday the 7th of Feb at the Rondo Theatre in Bath. Please do come along. It'd be lovely if we sell that one out as well. And we've been working on the show, so I'm looking forward to seeing how
I really wanted to go to this. Well, I wanted to go to the first one, but it's a Sunday, Milton Keynes. Okay, maybe I'll
wait. This one's a Saturday, so
yeah, but I've got a stag doing that weekend, so I'm a very busy man.
happens to fall on Saturday the 7th of February, that far in advance, you would get...
Well, yeah, that's what happens with stag do's. You kind of book them far in advance, and Big Johnny Stag Do is happening on that weekend.
Oh,
so,
Big Johnny, is it?
Well, I mean Megabyte. That's what I kind of call him as well. So,
I beg pardon? You're making up nicknames.
No. That's one of the shit nicknames I gave Johnny, and he still asks me why he's called Megabyte, and I refused to tell him. So,
I don't believe any of this. Just say you don't want to come. It's fine.
I do want to go. I'm just booking when I haven't got a stag do or on a Sunday.
It was like he'd been rehearsing that, hadn't it, James? Like he'd been sitting there all day. Well, I need another nickname.
I do remember my friend's name, so it's kind of,
weird thing to say. Yeah. Should we get some feedback from last week's show, Matt?
Yes, Luke Summerhays. All right, guys, I think James is right. If you're going to have a gaming podcast where you critique games, you probably should have a working knowledge of the classics like the Mario series. I also think Matt is right. He's clearly played enough platformers now to have an opinion, so the whole thing is moot. Donkey Kong was ace so. Appreciate y'all. Fuck my cunt, Luke Summerhays.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. What annoys me, Matt, is that when either you or Sean are editing, you don't read that bit out. But now I'm editing this week.
I think we do.
No, you don't.
I think we do. I've bleeped enough when I've edited, for sure.
James, how do you feel about last week's argument? Because it was an interesting one.
I mean,
how do you feel, James?
Might have gone a little bit too far with some of the things I said, but then, yeah. I mean,
but also they were all true.
I don't care.
It's what I honestly believe in my heart.
But yeah, Matt is entitled to his opinion.
Oh, wow. You sounded like you had to swallow some vomit before you said that.
I thought you said I couldn't have an opinion, James.
No, you can absolutely have an opinion, Matt. It could be wrong, but you can have an opinion.
Oh, just because it's a different one from you.
Yeah, he's got you there. The old switcheroo on that sentence.
Definitely won't continue after this.
Definitely not.
No. Okay,
Tom C, one of the top 250 Toms in London Southeast 4, which is great. Dave made friends with someone in Return of Castle Wolfenstein and later learned for a game of MotoGP that the guy was a Nazi. What was the chat when they were playing Wolfenstein? Did it not come up? Dave said he met the guy and they made friends because they were, and I quote, on the same team and making each other laugh. Dare I ask which team?
So I have been thinking about this all week. It's one of those. Were the signs there all along, and I just didn't. I didn't notice it. And then I'm starting to worry. Did I agree with some of the stuff that he said, thinking he was playing a role in Return to Castle Wolfenstein? Was that what was going on? I'm wondering that whether he launched on the other team, on the Allies team. Oh God, that sounds bad. The other team. when we spawned
famous
on that,
team sport World War II.
Did he go? Oh, and I just didn't notice. It's possible. Good point, Tom. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. I need to rethink my morals and history.
Yes, you do. Your old friend Sink has messaged, "How's life with a dishwasher going, David? Grass isn't always green on the other side, is it?"
You're right, Sink. You're right. Right now, I am still. I mean, do we want a quick shoulder update?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, do we? There's not a lot of feedback, so fucking go for it. Fill your boots. So I went to the hospital last week, and they said, "So what did you bash it on?" I said, "I don't think I did. I sort of pulled the torn a tendon apparently." And no, you've got a fractured shoulder. I'm looking at the X-ray here. You've got a fractured shoulder. I said, "The doctor said I didn't." Well, the doctor was wrong. I was like, right. So the physiotherapy I had last week, where he was yanking my arm about.
So the guy was too focused on trying to do a joke and wasn't doing his job. That's basically where we are with things.
It was the trousers
He was
down
like,
guy,
okay, trouser guy. And he's like, oh no, fuck, what's he? I don't know about the X-ray, but did you laugh at the trouser joke? Brilliant. Next.
I think that might be it. I was such a fan of his until I found out that But what was funny is that when they found out that I went for physiotherapy the week before with a fractured shoulder, they went, oh, Like, and they realised that
Soz.
actually he could have done more damage. So I had to get more X-rays. I don't need surgery. That's the best thing about it. And
bonus.
I've got about another 3 or 4 weeks of pain until I can start physiotherapy next month. So that's my shoulder update.
And as a result of the shoulder, you've also come down with a nasty case of sexiness with this beard that's coming on.
I didn't think it was going in that direction. No. Was I not sexy before, Matt?
Oh, no, you're sexier. You've always been sexy.
I heard you reversing then. Thanks. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be another bearded white guy on a video games podcast. That's
Yeah, but
my
you've got
only
hair.
concern.
That's the
You got hair,
difference.
so it doesn't count.
It differentiates. Sean and I are default white men on podcasts with beards. You've got hair. You've changed the game.
Oh well, thanks. I'm very flattered.
Can we,
no one's
when,
ever called
when,
me
when the
sexy
beard's
before.
like fully grown, we'll get a nice picture of Dave and we'll post it on Instagram with like diversity win on it.
We better get to the next bit of feedback.
Wingo84 has messaged, "Hi guys, I've been listening to a podcast for 2 months now, and I'm so glad I found you. As a 41-year-old father of a 5-year-old, it's refreshing to hear people of similar ages with families speak so passionately and honestly about games. Since none of my mates are into that world, I feel like there's a part of my life now being validated in some strange way. I love the show format, as well as the occasional guest you have on, from Arnold Tomlinson to Imogen Miller to that occasional newsreader, James, what's his name. Love to you all. Thanks for brightening up my week." From Wingo. Just kidding, just kidding, James as well.
It's lovely when you get a message like that, isn't it? It's
It is.
genuinely lovely when you get a
Yeah.
message like that. Thanks so much, Wingo. I really appreciate it. I'm loving it. Loving that. I do
Brilliant.
listen to some video games podcasts with 40-year-old men on it that just talk about, I've got so much free time. And I'm like,
Where's
mate.
that? What? How?
Because they don't have kids.
Well, because they haven't got kids.
Oh,
Keep up.
didn't think of that. Didn't think of that.
No.
Okay.
That's it for
You
feedback.
wouldn't, because you once locked yourself away to play 25 hours worth of Astrobot in 2 days for the weekend.
They
didn't you?
were not at home anyway. It was. What's wrong with that?
Because you had locked them out.
Nothing.
I couldn't get into the home.
I'm envious. Right, is that it
Yeah,
for
that is it for
feedback, Matt?
feedback. Go to tcgs.co to leave your feedback. But one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that there is another quiz happening on the Discord. These are basically like weekly occurrences now. They're so popular.
Sick of them, if anything.
Yeah, so this one is the Ultimate Game number 2, No Harder, hosted by Ben. This is on Wednesday, the 8th of October. It's on the main Discord channel. Go to tcgs.co. There's a link to our Discord there. And yeah, you too can be involved in the quiz about whether you know games or not. I think last week's quiz was about TCGS knowledge, and Kurt did post the questions. I would have done pretty badly, I reckon.
This is what I find interesting, right? So, Kurt did the one before, and now Ben's done one directly afterwards. Is this Ben saying Kurt's one was very good? I could do a better job. Is that
because
what
Ben
was
already
going through his
did one.
head?
So Ben did one.
So
then Kurt did
this is the
one.
second one, Ben. Well,
They've been-
he might have
they've
done
been
one.
alternating.
This
So
is
is
the second
this-
Game Noah one, yeah.
Is this Ben going, listen, Kurt, it's time for the big dog to take charge of the quiz this week.
I'm the quiz
Step
master now.
back.
Big Dog Ben. You see, the thing is,
mean-
because I was able to attend Ben's last one, but then when Kurt did his, I couldn't make it. So I feel like if I go to this one, Kurt's going to be like, "Oh right, I fucking
favouritism.
see what's going on."
Especially when it's Ben that seems to be able to go to Gles games in between every single TCGS event that we host. Is that it for the feedback?
It is.
Are we all done? Right, let's get to the news. Nice and early this week, James. What you got for us?
Can I, before I do the news, can I take my jumper off? Because I'm
Only
really
if you
hot.
do it
Yep.
on camera.
Yep.
Do I have to do it on camera?
Yes.
Yeah, in front of us.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop in some.
You could have done it when I was doing the feedback,
I'm going
but
to drop
you
in
now
some
do it.
music.
I know, but I'm worried it'll do that thing that you know, like when you
Chicka,
take it
wah, wah.
off and it like pulls all
Well,
everything
why
up.
didn't you
Go
hold
on,
your
that's
t-shirt
why we
down
want
Don't you
with
just
one
take it off
hand?
properly then?
Yeah. Hold your t-shirt in one hand, James. I can't believe we're telling you how to take a jumper off, and
Do
then
arms
use the other
first,
hand, the
and
other
then-
arm to.
Okay,
Go on, you
can
can do
I? Shall I mute my camera? Not my camera.
No.
Mute my mic. While
Can't
I'm
No,
mute the camera.
no, leave the mic on, please.
Yeah, just
also,
get it off now. Come
yeah,
on.
you
also,
struggle.
stop prolonging it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're teasing us, James. You're making it worse.
Making it worse.
Headphones are off,
take my
everyone.
glasses off because they'll go everywhere.
Jesus,
True,
this
that does
is
happen,
18
sorry.
rated now. Is this being kept
That
on?
is hot.
Jesus Christ, we saw everything
That is
then.
hot. What is that? That's a Street Fighter
Fighter.
t-shirt, is it?
When did you get that?
I didn't know you were a Street Fighter.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You nominated
Massive
for Game of
one,
the Year last year,
but,
didn't you? Or the
I
year
did
before?
actually because it was very good. But that wasn't like a big reveal or anything. I just happened to be
Looks
wearing
like
it.
I wish I was a different promo T-shirt. Something else. Like, oh my god, James is.
I did.
I don't know.
I had forgotten what I was wearing. Actually, I was wondering what it was, and then I was like, "Oh, it's a Street Fighter." So
It's
I
not
was
one of my
really
offensive
offensive
slogan
t-shirt.
t-shirts.
We know you collect those. Right, get on with the news.
All right, the
imagine
news.
starting again. Imagine news at 10. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Excuse me, I've just got to take my blazer off.
Can you mute the cameras?
I'd be
On it,
understanding.
mind the hand, you can't mute a camera. How many times?
Go on.
Okay, so the first bit of news we got is the state of play that PlayStation did last week.
Yeah,
did
man.
anyone watch this?
I did.
I did.
Not live, but I've seen.
No, I didn't
everything
watch
now.
the whole thing. I skimmed it after the fact.
It
I was
was.
busy.
It wasn't great, but it had some
was all right.
very good high points.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, open with Saris.
Which
I'm going to
looks
say
amazing.
it. I think Saris is going to be up there as one of the best games of the year next year.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks
I mean,
tremendous.
all right, you've got Grand Theft Auto coming out, and that's going to be a high contender. But this looks like they've learnt so much from Returnal, and they're going to take what was so good about that game and put it into a sort of a more traditional action game. It looks fucking incredible. It looks
really does.
incredible.
And they seem to be making a big deal about, like, yes, it looks like it's going to be really hard, like Returnal was, but they're making a big deal about it having that, like, every failed attempt is still forward momentum, you know?
Yeah, I like
they'd
the thing. I
previously
can't remember what
spoken
they
about-
called it. Sorry.
They'd previously spoken about doing difficulty settings for this one, right?
Okay.
That they'd learnt a lot from.
Easy.
I'm sure they have. I could be wrong, but they learnt a lot from Returnal, and they want to make the next game more accessible. And I think a big part of that is that you could just pop a shield up whenever you want in this one, which seems to be them going. This
Yeah.
will
I
actually
assume there's
allow
some
us
sort of
to
limit on the use of that, right?
Well, I should be
Oh,
able to
God,
cool
yeah,
down
yeah,
or
there will
something.
be,
but
yeah.
I like the
Yeah,
fact
yeah,
that
yeah.
they said, I can't remember what they called it in the video, but when you die, you come back once every life, I guess, and then you're stronger then. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
almost like, okay, you might have died, but there's a bit of a benefit with a bonus as well to dying
Yeah.
in some ways. You know, maybe tactically, I'm in a boss, I'm sucking, I'm dead now, more powerful, and that it helps the boss. So, yeah, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's got a lot of the similar-ish effects to that amazing scene in Death Stranding 2 with all the fireworks.
Oh yeah,
And just
yeah.
all with the lighting, and yeah, it looks fantastic. And
It did look
yeah.
very, very pretty. Particularly, like you said, like that shield. I thought the shield looked wonderful, especially with like the whole like absorbing stuff with it, and then using it potentially as like
Well,
weaponry and stuff.
The fact is, the movement and action of Returnal was so fucking good. Like, it was so spot on that I was really disappointed that the difficulty curve sort of didn't work for me. It just I just hit a brick wall with it, and that sort of really disappointed me. But the gameplay was just so spot on that if they take that and put that into a more traditional action game, then I'm very, very excited about what that game's going to look like. And everything I've seen of it makes me think, yeah, this is going to be right up my street. I can't wait to play it.
But yeah,
Yes.
it looked very cool. And then, I mean, the next thing, they also had this Zalem game, which is Zero Parades for Dead Spies.
Yeah.
I don't know anything much about this apart from after the whole debacle with Disco Elysium and everything.
Yeah, I'm not giving them any money.
Well, this is the thing. This is what annoys me, is that had we not heard anything from anyone about anyone that works on Disco Elysium since that game come out, and they showed this trailer, I'd think, fucking hell, this looks amazing.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
it does
yeah,
look
no,
good.
Yeah, I'm not,
I
not
think it's
commenting on the
amazing.
quality of the
Right.
game, and obviously maximum respect to the devs who are still there and are just doing their best, you know, despite all the shit that's gone on. But yeah, sadly, I just can't bring myself to give the people who own that dev any money.
Why is that?
but
What's the line for you? Why have you made that decision? Because
there's-
I genuinely.
It's a whole fucking mess. But basically, they like the original creators of Disco Elysium are gone and were seemingly forcibly kicked out of the company. It's a
Right.
like there's a reason Chris Pratt's done like 4 hours worth of documentaries on this. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Big old story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to watch that then because I don't know enough about it. All I know is
the
that
Chris Pratt thing was amazing. I watched that last year or the year before. Now he's done an updated one since then. And,
Yeah, he's done a
and,
follow-up
and
as well worth watching.
Danny Dwyer mentioned that they're finally also doing
Oh, right, okay.
documentary about. I think they posted about a couple of days ago. So that's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, no clip.
Because now there's also about 3 or 4 like spiritual successors, isn't there? To
Well, this is it,
you know,
and sadly, I don't know if I'm interested in any of them at this point. It's just a bit like starting to feel like Disco Elysium was just this beautiful one-off thing, and maybe we should just leave it rather than having 4 different devs all going, no, we're the real spiritual successor to it. It's like, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Next, then we also saw Flight Simulator, which has been like heavily predicted for a long time that this was going to come to PS5. But yeah, it's coming in December, and apparently there's a PSVR 2 version coming. Not yet, but later on that's going to happen, which is weird because I saw some people saying it's like that Microsoft's the only people supporting PSVR 2 now, like with content, because it's like there's not much else that's coming to it. But that'd be a stream. I wouldn't mind streaming that. I think it'd be
I know we didn't really talk about it much because Flight Simulator 2024 wasn't like leaps and bounds over the previous one, but it is really good. Like,
it's incredible.
We didn't have much to say about it on the show, but like I was going back to it every so often for quite a while. Like it's really, really good.
And the benefit of playing it on Xbox is that you can just stream it, so you don't have to install. Like the problem with Microsoft Flight Simulator is that you have to install loads of additional stuff to make it look how you want it to look. Even when you're playing on console, there are loads of like city downloads that you've got to do. There's all these bits and pieces that you need, and it gets really confusing. Whereas when you stream it, all that stuff is pre-installed anyway, and you don't have to wait hours to fucking download it just to play it for half an hour and fly over your house again. I think, look, it's incredible. If you've not played this, I don't know how much they're going to charge for it on PlayStation. That'd be interesting
70,
to see.
Like 70 quid,
if it's 70, then it is a tough sell. It's a very tough sell. But what I will say is that if you could get your hands on a copy and you've not played it already, then it's fucking impressive. Like the sort of the scenic settings that you can work on. Where you're put in a city at a certain time of day and you can just pan around it, and it's stunning. I was going to say,
like if you're listening to this, you know nothing about it, and you're like, oh, but I don't think I've got the stomach or brain for a flight simulator. It doesn't matter. There's so much stuff to like. You can learn all that stuff if you really want. There's loads of tutorials, but there's also these like tour modes where, as Dave says, it just puts you in a situation and you can just steer around and look at how beautiful it is. And then there's like the photo mode as well, where it'll be like, right, you're in a hot air balloon, and it's like, right, get a photograph where you can see this and the sun's in this position, and so you like sort of trying to fly to a certain place and then set up a photograph in a certain way. They're really fun as well. Loads of stuff to do in it.
Okay.
Battlefield 6, they had the new campaign mode stuff. People seem really excited about this.
I didn't know this had a campaign. I just assumed it was a
multiplayer
only thing.
Yeah.
There has only been 2 decent campaigns in Battlefield games, and they've been the Bad Company ones, right?
Yeah.
Was there 2 Bad Company games?
There was.
Yeah. The every other time they've tried to do a campaign, it's been dreadful. So I am not 100% sure I'll be into it.
There's a good trailer again. They definitely know how to do a trailer, but I'm not sure how much.
Did you see their launch trailer today?
No.
Oh my god! It is such a massive middle finger to Call of Duty. It's actually quite funny.
What stuff they're doing it?
Well, they've got famous actors in it. Who's in it? I'm trying to remember who's in it. Paddy the Baddie, the UFC fighters in it, and a bunch of other celebrities come. Zac Efron is in it, and they come out and it says like Zac Efron as Assault, and Paddy the Baddie as engineer and all this, and then they're like, hey, it's time to take them, and then they explode. And just some random characters run through and go, who are they? Doesn't matter, keep going. It's like a real sort of fuck you to Call of Duty. But
there's definitely like just stuff that I get served on Instagram or whatever. There's definitely like a lot of people are bigging up Battlefield as like, this won't have Beavis and Butthead in it. Thank God. I don't mind that stuff in Call. Like I'm not that precious about Call of Duty to mind that stuff. But I understand some people are like, it really takes them out of the experience, and this is what they want.
Yeah, it's out soon, isn't it? 10th of October. Not long at all.
Yep.
Okay, next we had the best trailer, I think, of the showcase, and one of my favourite games of all time, turns out it's getting a remaster, which is Deus Ex, and it's being done by it's Aspire, isn't it? That they're doing it.
Yeah.
Coming out next year.
Can you explain why it's your favourite trailer of all time, James?
I mean, one of my favourite bits was where they flash between the old stuff and the new stuff, and you couldn't really tell the difference between the two. That was the best bit. Where it's just where they just smoothed it a bit, like in places,
But they've also robbed it of all the atmosphere of the lighting change. I mean, Deus Ex is one of the first like major kind of PC games I remember playing like single player that I probably fell in love with on my PC back in God knows what year. But I was like, man, amazing, a remastered Deus Ex, hell yeah! And then it looks absolutely dreadful. Rather they kind of didn't bother.
It's a massive shame because I mean I absolutely love this game. It really is one of those ones which is like up there for me as like one of my favorite games of all time. But it's like, I wish they hadn't bothered with this because but what's really frustrating is there's the guts here of a game which would still completely work. I think like in terms of
for sure.
Well, yeah, and obviously it being ported to modern hardware, fine, good, makes it more accessible to more people. But yeah, like when we've seen like what Night Dive did with like the original System Shock and stuff, this is a bit poor in comparison. And and maybe that's not the devs' fault. They were given presumably a certain budget, and they're like, well, look, we can jazz up the visuals a little bit. It'll be in 4K, etc. But they probably didn't have the resources to do much more with it. But yeah, the game deserves better, clearly.
Yeah, we expect more from remasters these days, and this is not offering what we expect. I don't think that's
it's more of a port than a remaster, isn't it? Let's face it. Like,
yeah, it really is. I will say, watching the trailer, I was amazed at how much I recognised. Like I was like, fucking hell! I've not played that game since the year it came out, and there are so many bits in that trailer that I'm like, oh my god, I'm there again. Like this is wild to me. Like even there's so much of it. I loved it back in the day. It had multiplayer as well. It had a really interesting multiplayer. I wonder have they confirmed whether that's included? Yeah, it must. I really hope it wasn't a mod. But I remember you had to get into the opponent's tower and hack into their systems, and it was sort of like a not tower defense game, but you're defending a base and you've got to hack your way into. Oh, there was a mod apparently. They're saying in the chat. So that's a shame because I thought that was part of it and we were going to get to see that again. I'm not buying this, but there you go.
No, it just makes it want a full remake, and this is nowhere near that.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's a shame because I mean, as a series, it's a series which is kind of like fallen by the wayside, like massively now. Anyway, like I don't think the last one sold particularly well.
I quite liked the modern ones. I know they weren't exactly what. I don't know exactly what long-time series fans wanted necessarily. They had a lot of the edges sanded off, for better and worse. But I thought they were pretty cool, and they definitely deserved to keep making them. But I don't think they sold too well, did they?
Well, no, by Square Enix's
nothing sells well by their estimation, but
no one cares about Halloween, presumably, like the game.
No, I've got zero interest in it, and
don't think anyone cares about Lost Epoch either. No.
Nope. Okay. No, this was a big old skippy section of.
Can we just skip to the Dynasty Warriors 3 remaster?
Really?
Yeah. Neo 3. Yeah. Okay, go on then. Yeah, go on, Sean. Dynasty Warriors 3.
You don't want to talk about the Sonic Racing Crossworlds Mega Man DLC pack reveal?
No.
Okay.
I mean, that game reviewed better on IGN than Mario Kart World did.
It looks good.
I would like to try it.
Tempted.
I know Asher really wants to buy it, but he's waiting for the Switch 2 version to come out.
That's fair.
It's not yet, but yeah.
For some reason we're getting a remaster of Dynasty Warriors 3.
Yeah.
I don't know why 3. I don't know. Like I've been a fan of the series for years. I don't know if that's one that fans consider a favourite. I'm not aware.
I think so. That was the first. Was that the first one on PS2?
It might have been, yeah.
Or no. They must have had. It must have been on. They didn't have a Dynasty Warriors on PS1, did it? Dynasty Warriors 3 was the... Oh, did it really? Okay. So Dynasty Warriors 3 was the one that I remember playing with Blake in his bedroom for hours on end. That was the one that got us into that game. Maybe I need to go to his bedroom again. Blake, if you're listening, I'm going to your bedroom. We're going to play Dynasty Warriors 3, the complete edition remastered.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors started on the original PlayStation. That's mad.
Oh right.
but it
so
was a
yeah, I
one-on-one
wonder about that.
fighting game. It wasn't like a big.
Oh, I see.
war
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
I will say that it looks like more of a remaster than Deus Ex.
Yeah, God, yeah, it actually looks substantially different.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd probably be good. Like Dynasty Warriors Origins came out early this year. It was fucking great. So I don't see why this wouldn't be. Just I don't know. It just seemed like an odd move after they'd just done an actual new one. But whatever.
Okay, I'm going to skip over more games because I don't care about them. But if you do, please let me know.
Can we very briefly talk about Let It Die Inferno? Any of you play Let It Die, the first one?
No.
I mean, I when they announced this, I was like, surely. I mean, all I remember was the skateboarding skeleton, or whatever.
Grim Reaper on a skateboard with a
Grim
like
Reaper,
a Parker. Yeah, the first one was just fucking weird. It's Suda51 game.
Oh, hold on. I think I did play this. I think I did play Let It Die. I
It was
did
like a
play
weird,
it. Holy
sort
shit!
of
Yeah.
slightly ropey, sort of soulsy game. And
It wasn't
just
very
odd.
good.
It wasn't
Yeah, I didn't
great.
get
It
on
was
with
just
it.
incredibly weird.
Well, here's a sequel.
And for some reason, someone, God bless them, has bankrolled a new one. I'm pretty sure the first one got the servers turned off because no one was playing it. So
Yeah.
So yeah, the trailer for this looks equally weird. I will probably get it.
Do you like Suda51 then?
Not always. I'm not a big Suda50. Have you seen that fucking Hotel Barcelona they brought out this week?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it looks.
Jesus. I don't know,
Really?
man. Yeah, it looks really bad.
Okay. Yeah, I remember playing this game when it first came out, and it was the first one. It was not very good.
Yep.
So okay, fine.
Then
Sorry, the soundtrack for the first game, Suda51, just went to all his friends who were in bands and stuff, and just said, "Mate, write a song called Let It Die." So when you look at the
that's funny.
soundtrack, all the songs are called Let It Die.
Let It Die.
It's very good.
okay, then we had Chronoscript. This is like a 2D.
This look nice.
Metroid
This looked really
style
fascinating.
game.
Yeah, I couldn't work out where. At first, I was like, this looks light. This looks really nice. And then after a while, I'm like, I'm not sure if it's giving me a headache. It's very busy visually, but it was really interesting. But yeah, I was a bit mixed
Well,
by
I
the
think
end.
for me, it was really hard to tell the character from the background.
Yes, everything's sort of
I hope
very
they
similar
improve that.
color palette throughout, right?
But
It's quite, yeah.
I imagine that is what they're going for. So don't quite understand it, but I do like the look of it. It's one of those games that you look at and go, "Oh, this is different." So that's always
Yeah, the
a
fact
good
it goes from kind of like 2D to top down, and they're going to play around with it, aren't they?
There was a little bit of a bit of Plucky Squire about it, wasn't there? Sort of
Yeah,
running around
well,
on
let's
pages
not-
on a table.
Let's not judge it that early. Let's wait until it comes out.
It also, the what's called the graphic style reminded me of like Pentiment as well. For some reason, I just thought it was kind of like that. But yeah, not Plucky Squire.
Can we get to my favourite announcement of the show?
I mean, I'm
Crimson
presuming
Desert?
it's not Crimson Desert because that looks
No, it is not. It is the fact that they seem to have announced PC speakers.
Yes, yeah, they absolutely have. This is the Pulse Elevate wireless speakers. So yeah,
Oh, I
if you
think I
want
just
some,
skipped over this.
if you
Go
want
on.
some
I
speakers
can't-
for your PS5,
I don't get
PC,
it.
or Mac, you can buy these.
Yeah, but don't people just use headphones now?
Well, there's
They
that,
don't-
but
Or a
there's the other
soundbar.
thing. The other thing that I found really weird with these was that you're supposed to, like, one of the selling points that they pushed was, oh, you can pair this with the Portal as well, so you can like use like these with the Portal. But why would you do that?
Yeah,
Because
why
it's
would
like,
you do that?
because this is always the thing I've found weird with sound like this. Because like if you've got like speakers somewhere else in the room, and then you're sitting on the other side of the room with your Portal, why would you want the sound coming out of speakers on the other side of the room? Or
Yeah, I know, yeah, it's
surely
bizarre.
the speakers are going to be near the telly, and you've chosen not
Yeah.
to use the telly by using the portal, so you're going to be away from the speakers.
It's very
Oh
strange.
well, yeah, but no, my kids can watch the telly, but I'm blazing the
Yeah.
soundtrack to this game out. It was like, can you write down "sound like this" on as an episode title, please, Matt? Because that was a good one. Really, really odd. I mean, they love releasing hardware at the moment, Sony.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
This I
really
do
are
not
doing
get
it, aren't they?
at all.
I mean, I always find it funny you can like you can change the angle of it. You can like spin them up, spin them down. I
Tilt
mean,
it back
they
a bit.
were,
Yeah.
they were
Tilt it,
very
yeah.
proud about that because they kept on showing it like at multiple different times through the thing about. Like, you
Have
can
they announced
angle
the
them.
price?
I don't think so.
Oh God!
I
If
mean,
they're
come on, they're gonna
anywhere
be
over
expensive,
50
aren't they?
quid.
Of course, they're going to be over 50 quid.
Oh, definitely over 50.
I
yeah.
know, of course, but fucking hell. I mean, then no one's gonna buy them. Right, next.
Then we got the obviously God of War limited edition controller, which looks fine.
Got a red stripe on it.
It has.
If I need a new DualSense, I'm buying the fucking anniversary edition one because that is the only one that looks good in my opinion.
Yeah, the grey one
and
looks
it does
amazing,
look
yeah.
fucking good. Yeah.
And then the last thing we had was Wolverine. So we got like a longer trailer for this, which
This was a wild trailer and not what I expected at all. Look, I don't know much about the character Wolverine. I know a bit. Like I watched the X-Men cartoon
There's not
when I was a
that
kid,
much
Matt,
to
me
know,
and you.
really.
No,
Yeah.
but when
That's
I
not what
was
they said,
thinking
Sean.
of
They said it's got a really complex,
No,
you know,
yeah, people listening will be shouting at their phones right now.
comic
but
books.
Yeah.
but when I was thinking about this game and Insomniac and how popular Spider-Man is, I did not expect this to be probably one of the goriest games I've seen
Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah.
revealed
Yeah, yeah.
this
this
year.
was-
Holy
this was the thing,
shit!
right? Because like Asher absolutely loves Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales and was really excited about this because he's like, oh,
Yeah.
likes Wolverine, all that kind of thing. I watched the trailer and I was like, I don't think he's going to be playing this game
No.
because
No,
it's like
it's fucking really, really gory, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
literally, the spikes in his hand go through someone's like through the bottom of their head and out the top of it. It is like insane. So,
Yep.
yeah, I'm not letting the kids
Well,
anywhere near
this
this.
is what was
obviously.
so funny. The last Wolverine game that came out, and I think, and basically, I think it was supposed to tie in with the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie,
Right.
but the film was apparently Hugh Jackman was like, no, it needs to be like a PG. I'm like, it's fucking Wolverine. What are you talking about? So there was like hardly any blood in it or whatever. And then the game that was made to go with it was one of the most violent things you've ever seen. Like you could basically, you're the only way you could tell how injured you were was just how much like skin was left on Wolverine. You basically end up just like a walking skeleton, and apparently it was
Jesus.
horrific. So yeah, so the game just got no marketing whatsoever because we were like, well, we can't link this with the
can't
film
show
because
any
it's
of it.
completely different audiences.
Well, all I've said, like that being said, that game looks fucking amazing. I'm all for it. So, I was well pumped after I watched this trailer. I'm like, yes, I'm fully on board for a Wolverine game. Insomniac are amazing at what they do. I imagine this is going to be fantastic too. So, yeah, very excited for this one.
Yeah, I
looks
mean,
great.
no doubt it would be good because it's Insomniac, as you said, and Spider-Man games are great. But, and Spider-Man combat was good or fine. I mean, it got better as you got more kind of perks and stuff. But,
Really good. I really like the combat in
But
Spider-Man.
I loved it because I also loved, traversing New York, and this isn't going to have.
I was going
it's
to
not
say,
gonna
yeah,
have
because I know
that.
that.
So I wonder if it's just combat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm
It's not
as
open world,
jazzed.
is it?
That's the thing. It's
I've no
like
idea.
from the trailer, you really can't tell
Can't
like
tell,
what the
yeah.
structure is. Like whether
Open
it
zone,
looks
maybe,
like
who
there's
knows?
sort of like large areas or whatever that you're probably exploring, like level to level kind of thing.
Yeah, I
rather
reckon
than-
it's Uncharted like.
Yeah,
I meant to be
Okay,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of
looks good.
climbing about as well because Wolverine always does that, like in terms of like smashing his
He's good at
claws
climbing,
into
doesn't he? He likes climbing.
things and go up walls and stuff.
I would say though, for a state of play, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I think it had enough in there to get me excited. And nothing mind blowing, but the fact that they bookended it with two very good trailers, so things I'm interested in. So yeah, I was happy as a consumer,
Yeah,
as
we've
a
actually got some
fan
stuff,
of
yeah.
medium.
And we've actually crucially got some stuff for next year to be looking forward to as a PlayStation owner.
Yeah, totally.
Because up to this
Yeah,
point, we're
yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
what's really coming? Other than GTA, which isn't a Sony exclusive. So yeah, it's great to see. Solos looks amazing. Wolverine's undoubtedly going to be great, and yeah, it's good to actually hear about some 2026 titles for once.
And you can buy some new
Yeah.
speakers as well.
Tempting.
if you feel like you
Yeah,
want.
get some PC speakers. It reminds me, getting PC speakers reminds me of going to PC. Do you remember they used to do PC fairs? And you go to them and they were just old blokes selling bits of PC.
Selling
on a
old gateway
table
PCs.
and pirate games. It was, and you walk through it and you go, you couldn't really afford anything, but speakers are £5. I'll buy 2 speakers. You set them up and they're all tinny and horrible. Just me. Good. Next news story.
Sorry, Dave, can I just interrupt?
Go on.
I talked the other week about my card getting cloned or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at my phone like, where do I fucking know that from? Someone's just tried to use it again, and they've tried to buy something from jomashop.com.
Oh, what's Jamer's shop? What
That's the watch
sports
shop,
brand?
isn't it? That guy always bangs on about.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was
Just
hoping
like
it was gonna be
only
some
Dave will get
PlayStation
this.
speakers.
So that's good.
and I
How are
didn't.
they,
No, you
how are they
didn't.
still
I'm
being
like-
allowed to use your card?
No, they're not.
That's-
That's what I mean. It's just
It's
I'm
getting rejected.
getting a notification saying it failed because they tried to use your old card.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, next story is, I mean, Xbox had the Tokyo Game Show that this last week. Is it last week or was it the other day?
It's Monday today, so definitely last week.
All right, okay. I mean, I don't care about this. I'm sorry. I looked through like
Don't care about
watched,
Tokyo.
I've watched all of the videos that they put up, and there's nothing here that I thought was really particularly interesting apart from Forza. That was literally
Dragon?
probably the only thing. Don't
Forza's the
care.
most
Double
boring
Dragon?
trailer, though.
Nah.
Wasn't
Oh,
it? Yeah.
I forgot James with Double Dragon. You know how James like picks a side? No, that's what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, there's no Streets of Rage.
No,
Well, it
no.
doesn't
Double,
need to
come
be.
on. Double Dragon really was one of those games that was never good. Like it was never
Fuck
a good.
off, James. It
It
was. I
wasn't.
love Double Dragon.
It was not. It was
Fuck
not a good
off.
game.
Oh, the music. Shut up. Double Dragon was fun.
It was never good. But
it
yeah,
was good actually.
But the rest, I mean, the rest of the stuff we got like Gungrave, Gore, Blood, or whatever. Heat. Anyone care about this?
Are you just saying words that you see in front of you? What you
Yeah.
say, what you see, is it?
It's
Gun,
exactly what it
blade,
is. I mean,
sword, gut, heat. What did you say?
No, I've never
Gungrave,
played one of the
Gore.
Gungrave games. There was one on the PS2,
Oh, that's
and
the actual game,
then
is
there was
it?
one
Yeah.
fairly recent, and now there's this one. And it's a fascinating series because it's that one where everyone goes, "Oh, that's the one where the guy's carrying like a coffin on his back. Yeah, always look really cool." And then you play it and go, it's all right. I've never known anyone who's like, "Yeah, it's actually really good." So, hey ho.
okay. Then we found out that Gemma Chan's in 007 First Light. That was exciting.
That's cool, yeah.
Okay. Then we had Double Dragon Revive, which is,
Already spoken about it.
yeah.
Go on, you can
Very
skip it if we've spoken about it, buddy.
Fatal Frame 2, already saw that at the PlayStation 1.
All right.
Then we had
Yeah, sure.
Animal-
Let's just talk about the things we care
Yeah, do
about.
we need to go through every
Exactly. This
single
is what I'm saying. This is why I said in the WhatsApp earlier today, I don't see the point of including this story. It's rubbish. There's nothing here to really
we
talk
can talk about the thing not being interesting overall without going through every single.
I'm hammering the
Well,
point
I will
home,
say there
Sean.
is one very important thing to talk about. The new Forza Horizon teaser trailer is
Yeah.
exactly what I reported in Turner's
Yeah.
turbulent
Talking
zone
shit
or
zone.
whatever we called it. Yeah,
Yeah, TTZ, yeah.
yeah, bang on with that one. I mean, it was pretty obvious, and pretty much confirmed at that point by Nate the Hate.
Yeah,
so
it's a shame
I
it's such a
can't think too
boring
much.
little CG teaser. I mean, like, obviously,
It's a
I
shit
love to
trailer,
see,
isn't
you love
it?
to see some gameplay. I guess we're never going to, but it's like, okay. I mean, they could have had like a screenshot, or like the key art really saying Tokyo or whatever, Japan. But yes, I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be that's a great.
Yeah, so the
combination,
camera
isn't it?
pans around and shows it all the items from every place that Forza Horizon games have been based in, and then it looks out the window and it's Japan, and fucking hell, I mean even the concept of looking out that window and seeing what they were showing was making me go, this is going to be the best Forza Horizon, I think.
But they could
Bang
have
up for it.
included one car doing a skid round a corner.
Oh, I love a
Oh,
skid.
is
just
that
saying.
it? Is
I'm
that
just
that's,
saying.
oh right? Just because it's Japan, they were all driving sideways, are they?
That's what they do
Is
when
that
they see
what
an
is
initial
that what
D.
you're saying?
That's what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I just think of like Metropolis Street Racer when I hear like Japan racing. So I'm very looking
No,
forward
whenever
to
I
it.
think of drifting, Sean, I think of when John Denton had to describe drifting to Chet Roivas on Chet and John's Reassuringly
I
John.
don't remember
And
this.
Chet could not understand the concept of it and said, surely all the tracks would just be big circles then. John was like, no, that's not the point, mate. Fucking brilliant. If you get to find that again, I need to dig that out because that is one of my favourite conversations I think I've ever seen on anything.
I thought Winterborough looked really nice. It's like the mouse survival
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Again, that almost like illustrative style, like it's from a children's book. I thought that looked really, really gorgeous.
I like that. I just didn't like the rhyming, the voiceover with the rhyming. I always find that irritating.
I'm kind of with you with that. Like
Yeah,
it's
fair.
always like and da ba da ba, and da ba da ba, and you're like, shut the fuck up.
Do you
But it does look
remember-
nice. It
do you
looks
remember
very nice.
Child of Light. that sort of Ubisoft sort of
Yeah.
indie quote unquote game. That was everyone spoke in rhyming couplets, and it was fucking unbearable. Same writer as Far Cry 3. Fun fact.
Wow. Other things were announced that weren't on this Xbox show, but in Tokyo Game Show general news.
It was the OD, wasn't it?
Yeah, OD, the new, the Xbox exclusive, at the time of writing, probably not, Kojima first-person horror game, which had like a very snazzy trailer. Looked great in terms of mood piece. Hopefully Xbox is still going by the time it comes out, so you can go to PlayStation. But yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for that. They also, I watched I'm not sure if it was I think I watched another YouTuber saying like, here's like 30 of the big announcements. Another one was Fizzint, which is like the other Hideo Kojima espionage game. They just announced like new actors and stuff like that. And this isn't something I'm really caring about, but I found it funny that Power World, well, there's a new Power World game and it's Power Farm. Now, this is literally 2 weeks after there was like a Pokemon farming game. It's just the timing is bonkers because they obviously haven't designed this in the last 2 weeks. It's also been a long-term thing, but it just so happens that like it's just 2 weeks after the other.
They're definitely trolling them.
I just found that really, really funny.
I should also say on the Kojima stuff, there was the game they're working on with Niantic. So they're doing a Strand game where you, I guess, being a courier
Porter, maybe,
Porter, yeah.
So
I'm really excited about that.
Yes, I will port anything. Yeah, but
deliver some stuff.
I think
already doing it.
I think OD is exciting. I mean, I don't know if there's like a release date for OD, probably not. But yeah, I'm excited for that for sure. Although it probably is too much because it looks quite PT like from the trailer.
Very scary. Yeah. Wasn't there like a funny in the trailer? It was like, oh, it's 10 years since the incident, and everyone's like, yep, it's 10 years since PT. So that adds up. That's
really?
like a little nod. To
there's loads of text in the trailer with like redacted bits, and I didn't connect that. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Shall we move on to the next story?
Yes, please.
Which is that Microsoft have they've ceases and disables some of its services to the Israeli Military of Defense. So this is all connected to, we've talked about this before with the BDS boycott movement, and basically Microsoft has now informed employees that it has reviewed a report by The Guardian that alleged that a unit within the IDF was using Azure for storage of data files and phone calls obtained through broad or mass surveillance of civilians in Gaza and the West Bank. So Microsoft said that they found this evidence and that they were taking steps to stop this from being used. They said that this does not impact the important work Microsoft continues to do to protect the cybersecurity of Israel and other countries in the Middle East, including under the Abraham Accords. But a pro-Palestinian group, No Azure for Apartheid, described Microsoft's decision as a significant and unprecedented win for the campaign and its organising. They said, within less than a month of our sit-in of Brad Smith's office, Microsoft has taken the significant decision to become the first US tech company to stop the sale of some technologies to the Israeli military since the start of the genocide in Gaza. The vast majority of Microsoft's contracts with the Israeli military remain intact. This decision only motivates us more to continue our organising until all our demands are met and until Palestine is free. But then also, a lot of members of this group, they also claimed that Microsoft and Redmond police retaliated against their peaceful opposition of war crimes. This is in inverted commas that they described it, with the brutal mass arrest of 18 protesters, chemical weapons and physical violence. And the police department also said, there were arrests took place, and that they claimed that the protesters had resisted arrest and become aggressive. So but it seems that they are now no longer going to be providing AI services to the IDF for a while.
Yeah, step in the right direction.
For sure, yeah.
Obviously, plenty more to do, but yeah, it's a small but significant win. Glad to hear about
It
it.
took them a long fucking time to get there, though, didn't it?
There's
a lot of...
and it sounds like it's more to do with this Guardian report than...
Yeah, but I think even if... I mean, the Guardian report is obviously very, very strong and good, but they would never accept or admit or acknowledge it was anything to do with the protest, because then like, then that's just like opened the floodgates, as it were, for them to do that. So, not maybe they're looking for excuse, I don't know, but regardless, this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, next story is that EA have confirmed that they're going to be acquired for $55 billion by investors, which includes Saudi Arabia's PIF and also what's it, the other one is
Jared Kushner's.
Yeah, it's
company,
Affinity
isn't it?
Partners, like Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, and Silver Lake Partners, who are a private equity firm based in Silicon Valley. All the best people, basically.
yeah.
They're
If
going
you
to
couldn't
be-
hate a
bunch of
company
guys.
more.
Yeah, that's going to be buying it. So they're being bought for, as I said, for 55 billion, and this means they acquire like 100% of the company. Don't worry though, Andrew Wilson is going to remain CEO.
Phew.
So that's
Phew,
okay.
I was really worried about that, actually. Thanks for confirming that.
You hope all the guys at the top are going to be all right, don't you? That's the main
Yeah,
thing.
That's the first people I look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
The
look
leaders.
up and go, are you all right? Yeah, we are. We're still really, really rich. Okay, good. Phew.
yeah. I'm not going to read what he said about it because
Close one.
it's all bullshit. So I'm not going to read that.
Can we talk about the 20 billion
Yeah,
debt thing?
They've
Because that is
also-
hilarious.
they bought it with like 20 million worth of debt as well, right? Which they've then presumably loaded that on EA, like
Well,
on
this
the
is
company.
so that's what's hilarious is I didn't even know you were allowed to do this.
Ask Manchester United fans.
I was going to say, yeah, same happened to them. Yeah, when the Glazers took over.
Yeah.
So my understanding is, please tell me if this is wrong. They've bought the company, but they can't actually afford it. But they've gone, no, it's okay because the company we're buying is going to borrow 20 million to buy itself.
Is it 20 billion, isn't it?
Yeah.
20 billion, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 billion.
$100
So, yeah.
million dollars.
So, I mean, God knows what's going to happen to EA now. Like, obviously, solidarity with anyone who works there because this is probably going to be rough.
Yes.
Buying it.
Yeah,
with
they got a
that-
lot of cost saving to do
Yes.
from day one, so
Yeah.
that will unfortunately mean substantial changes, you would assume there.
Yeah.
And there's also concerns about possible, if there's like direction being pushed for like on the creative side as well, given the background of some of these organisations that are taking it over, which is also a concern.
Yep.
But it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great as to whether they'll still be. Well, I mean, I'm sure maybe they won't still be around, but we'll see what happens. I guess.
I mean, they've
mean,
been
there's
bought
so
for
much
55
money.
billion. I think they're going to stay around. It's just
Yeah, I
in
mean,
what
there's,
shape.
there's so much fucking money in the projects they put out. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I suspect that they will just double down on the ones that make a lot of money.
I think the sports stuff definitely, because that also fits in with the, with the private, public investment funds
Yeah,
and their
yeah.
like all their sports washing stuff that goes on, all that kind of thing. It kind of like fits with all of that.
Yep.
Okay. Next story is that we've finally got a price for the ROG Xbox Ally and the Ally X. So it's going to cost
Too much, baby.
So the Xbox Ally, which is the cheaper one, is going to be £500, whilst the premium one is £800.
That comes in cheaper than we thought, though, right? I mean,
No,
like,
I think 800 was widely. That was a rumoured price, isn't it, for the top one? 800 quid?
It
Really?
sounds
I
it
thought
sounds
it was
cheaper because the rumoured prices we heard before were always in dollars, which are
Oh,
like
okay,
so
right,
it was
yeah, cool.
like it was $600 for one and $1,000 for the other.
Yeah,
which-
yeah.
And it's,
which
no,
kind
it
of
is worth
tracks.
noting you could spend a lot more on one of these types of devices. Like
Yeah,
there
I mean,
are
just
more
look at
expensive
everyone
ones
that,
available.
that had to stop pre-orders for the.
yeah.
Yeah, but again,
Um,
how many were they selling?
I mean, we
It's
don't
like-
know that.
I'm really skeptical when they say that. When they're just like, "Oh, we've
all
sold
three
out."
of them.
Yeah, it's like, how many have you sold? It's.
I mean, it's a funny one because so you guys know this. I was experimenting last week with because I'm always paranoid that one day my PC's just not going to turn on, right? And that's going to be a nightmare scenario because
Just
I
buy
think
anyone
I
for
need
£3,000, sure.
That's true. Yeah, could do
That's
that.
always an option.
And yeah, so I was like, what if I just had to do this show on the Steam Deck, right? So I put it in a USB-C hub, and I got like OBS installed and working, and I got all the layouts sorted and everything. I was like, right, I feel I'm gonna relax now, just because I just created that weird anxiety for myself. So obviously, part of me is looking at these and thinking, do you know what? Like, if for 500 quid, I could have a handheld games console, and also I can put it in a dock, and it's a Windows PC that does the creative stuff I need to be able to do. That's not bad. But most people are just going to be buying it as a handheld, and that's a much worse prospect, if you ask me. But I don't know.
When Apple shows off the new phones and whatnot, there's a lot of like shot on iPhone. We should have a little thing at the bottom saying powered by Steam Deck. It's like, wow, you did the whole thing? Yeah, the whole thing on a Steam Deck. It's crazy, I know.
So also Microsoft have revealed that there's going to be like a handheld compatibility program verification scheme, which is similar to like the Steam Deck verified thing, which is to try and say what games work on it basically. And apparently there'll be 2 tags. There'll be handheld optimized for games that they're saying are ready to go with no settings or adjustments needed, and then mostly compatible for games that need sort of tweaking to get the
Same
best
as
experience on
Steam
the
Deck
handheld.
then, really. Yeah, because it's often you'll find it with a lot of Steam Deck stuff. Like performance will be all right, but it'll be stuff like the UI because it's such a small screen. UI is not necessarily designed for it, so it would just be like, yeah, it runs all right, but the text is a bit small and shit. So there's stuff like that crops up, but.
Yeah, so these also sold out a lot of places on here as well, which is interesting. And a lot of from the tech journalists I've seen on Blue Sky and stuff, they're like, you really kind of have to go for the top one if you're going to buy one of these things. The lower one is quite low powered apparently, but it's interesting. I'll be fascinated to see what happens to this. I mean, this doesn't really interest me at all. I mean, Steam Deck did, and I'll maybe go there when there's a sequel, but this doesn't really interest me. Not just the price. I'm just not, I don't know. Xbox in general, I'm not like exactly. Oh yes, definitely.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
And also, I know this is silly as well, but if this was like an official Xbox product, I would definitely be looking at this in a different way. This is clearly their way to investigate the market and see if it works for them. And but I don't know, it's just not for me right now.
This is still. I'm absolutely convinced now that this is what the next Xbox is going to be. Anyway, it's going to be created by third parties like this. I don't think we're going
because
to
I
see
think they're
that.
testing the water to see how it pans out. Look, we'll put something new out, but we'll get another manufacturer to take all the risk.
Yeah.
I can't see the next Xbox being like this, and maybe the one after, but not the next one. No way.
I totally can, especially when you see. I mean,
Sounds
we
like a
didn't put
bet.
it in the news, but there was all those stories, with like Xbox being withdrawn from like shops as well, and stuff like that.
Costco,
This is like another, this is like another way that they can, spread the brand is by doing it through third parties. It makes sense. It makes complete sense.
The brand? What is the brand anymore?
It's Xbox Play Anywhere, David. It's thousands of games wherever you are. So it's like
I still think they're going to run into the problem though. If people buying this thinking they can play their Xbox games on it.
Yeah, I think
and
I
they
agree.
can't. Like yes,
but they
a lot of
can
them...
with iCloud
Yeah.
or whatever.
There's 1,000 Play Anywhere titles, Sean. It's
that
an
thing,
incredible deal.
It's like, does this play Xbox games? Yes and no.
Sort of. Okay. Then
the final story we got is that Doug Bowser is retiring as the head of Nintendo of America, as president. And
strange. It was strange how Doug Bowser came in and did not do the Reggie thing. Yeah, sure he did, stuff, but it was. We got someone who was very sort of public facing replaced with someone who wasn't, and that was odd. And I wonder if that gets addressed with the next appointment.
It's weird because with Reggie, he was a marketing guy.
Yeah,
but he still he clearly gave a shit, or certainly was good at appearing to. And then we got replaced with Doug Bowser. We're like, his surname's Bowser. No, that's funny, isn't it? And then we just never really saw much of him, which is obviously an intentional decision on his part. He was obviously just like, I'm not going to do any of that Reggie stuff.
Yeah,
that's
can
not
you imagine
me.
if he's like, no, go on Jimmy Kimmel. No,
I'm not interested. So
it's
yeah,
like,
but
we're
I don't know.
making fuck tons of money. I I don't need to do that. It's it's completely fine. So he's taking over. It's Devon Pritchard is taking over as the Nintendo's first female president, and she joined Nintendo in 2006, and so she's going to be taking over. I mean, can I just read what Furukawa said, like the quote? He said, Devon, who will become the next president, has also made many contributions to Nintendo over the years. I'm confident that, like Doug, Devon will continue to support Nintendo's important mission of creating smiles. So there you go.
Oh yeah, Devon. How many platformers have you played, and which ones have you 100%? That's what we want to know.
Almost
be the
certainly
judge
she's
of
played
that.
Mario World. Everyone's played that.
Okay, right,
all right.
well, let's...
It felt like he'd been at 2 minutes, but I looked. He started in 2019. I was like, man, it's only been like a couple of years.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, so 6 years. So it's not his time.
All right.
That's it.
Is that it?
That is it. Yeah.
Good. Let's get to what you've been playing this week then. And can we start with baby steps? which is
Yes,
a game we've
please.
spoken about a fair amount on this show leading up to its release. I think we were sort of captivated by how fucking weird the trailers were. So Baby Steps is an indie game, is it? It's published by Devolver.
Yeah.
And it is made by who's the guys behind it? Who's the sort of
I feel really bad because a team worked on this, but all I see is Bennett Foddy because he's done stuff like this before, and it's like, oh yeah, this is totally a Bennett Foddy game. It's not just a Bennett Foddy game; other people worked on it.
Well, I mean, you can tell that as well. For those of you that don't know who Bennett Foddy is, famous for Getting Over It and Quap, which are funny games that are really hard to control. And they are, they're really hard to control. And if you want to get anywhere in them, you've got to stick with them for fucking hours to do the most basic thing. And you could tell that this isn't really a full Bennett Foddy game because this isn't that really. It is tough to control. The idea is that you're playing as a character called Nate who has been sort of warped out of his basement bedroom and into the middle of a forest or a park or whatever it is. It's not a park, Dave. It's not a park. I don't know why
Not
I
really
said
a
park.
forest either, but
No, it's more
well,
like
it is later. That's the problem.
Okay.
But you control Nate by using the triggers to lift each leg and the left stick to position each foot. So the idea is that you lift one foot at a time and position it one in front of the other. Hence, Baby Steps. I have put 6 hours into this game. How about you, Sean?
I'm nowhere near as much. I think I've only done like an hour or so.
Okay, Matt.
Well, I think I've put like between 8 and 10. I feel like I've played
You
a
can
fair
check.
bit.
You know,
Oh,
you
can
can
I?
check.
On the PlayStation app? Can I?
Go to the PlayStation app. Yeah, I'm interested to see how long you've put into it. But the reason why I say it's not really a Bennett Foddy game is because
7 hours.
Okay, so those games are very much the idea of the game is that it's awkward to control, and I think it's sort of spurred on a genre, like a little small genre that a few games sort of subscribe to. And I think Gang Beasts wouldn't be around if Quap wasn't around, or you look at Octodad is another one of those. The difference between his previous games and this one, which is obviously a wider team, is that there's way more to it. Like you've got, it's not just a, hey, look how hard it is to control. There's a whole exploration element to it. There's definitely a theme behind everything you're doing and a narrative. You're definitely following a story and linking things together, although it is quite abstract in places. And all I will say is that I have fucking no idea why I'm so addicted to this, because there's so much of it that I hate. The stuff that I think you're supposed to like the improvised cutscenes. The cutscenes themselves do nothing for me.
Really?
I haven't laughed at
I
any of them.
really like them.
I mean, laugh, maybe not.
I was going to
but
say
they're all
something
kind
that's
of-
really going to piss you off, actually, Sean, I think. Because it really reminds me of the way that the voice acting is. It reminds me a little bit of the Rick and Morty style. Hey, oh no.
I know what you mean.
I
I
don't
know what you
know.
mean. But to me, it's very Brendan Small. So like Home Movies and Dr. Katz and stuff. Like they sort of did that stuff before Rick and Morty. You see, so to me, I can go back to that. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So I heard that these are the devs that are voicing all the characters, and they were all improvised. And I'm like, no, let's write some stuff and get decent voice actors in this, please, because there are bits in it where I think I should love it because it is that abstract and slightly off-putting conversation. But then there are bits where like, I don't really know, and I'm like, well, that whole 30 seconds there was pointless.
You could have tightened that up. Yeah.
There's part of it that I mean, some people are gonna love it. I'm not saying you're wrong if you love it. It's just doesn't work.
I did like it because it's not something you often see in like, tightly scripted games or anything really. I mean, yeah, maybe kind of, irreverent kind of comedy on YouTube, but I mean, just felt unique and and different. So for a game, like the first conversations you're kind of having when you meet the other character, and you're just like, oh, you're just kind of mumbling, and Nate's kind of mumbling, and oh, I'm not quite sure if I can, and it's literally just like that. And I thought, oh, it's just interesting and different.
It's because, isn't it? Because comedy in games can be so hard to do because so many dialogue in games is so often at the mercy of a structured dialogue system where we're like, right, here's a sample of someone saying this, and then the game sort of it's broken up into chunks, and then that can fuck with comic timing, and people can't necessarily speak over each other and blah 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 blah. Whereas doing it this way, as just this sort of rambling conversation, you get that sense of oh, they're really talking to each other, and that often doesn't come across.
But I think it can go too far. Yeah, it can go too far and say, no, this sounds fake now. They've got two people and go, oh, be really awkward with each other. Oh, I don't really. Well, you didn't need to say that bit. And I don't think if you were in it, feeling awkward in this situation, you would have said anything in that place. So I don't know why you're still talking. But anyway, that's definitely.
Just last thing on the dialogue, sorry.
Yeah.
And maybe this changes. Nate is not a likable character. He's quite annoying. He's clearly completely useless, but won't. The people are trying to help him, and he's just like, "Oh no, just leave me alone."
But that's
no, dude, take the map, put some shoes on, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, okay, right. So I relate to Nate in that way, and I'll tell you why. Because it's not that I don't see him being stupid and being needlessly leave me alone. I see him as I don't want to put anyone out.
Yes,
yeah,
100%. That's how I took it. Yeah.
So
he doesn't want to get under anyone's shoes. I'll do it myself. I don't need you. I don't want it. It's not like it doesn't need the help. I was like, no, you go away and I'll help myself or try to help myself. Yeah, I at first you might be a bit abrasive, but I growing to love him. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first thing is that someone goes, well, you need shoes. You haven't got your shoes. No, I like it this way. No, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. And I was like, okay, right, that is totally like me. I would very much be like that if someone's offering to help. And then there's a brilliant bit that sort of really, this has been spoken about in reviews and stuff, so I hope I'm not spoiling it. But there's a bit where you get to a this huge gap, and you're like, well, I can't get over there. And when you reach the gap, the character comes out of nowhere and goes, hey, just use your grapple hook. You what? You grapple. You could just grapple across. Oh, I haven't got a grapple. Well, you could borrow. No, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm sure I'll just find another way around. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So I sort of connected, but that's the one side of the story and everything that I did connect with. That it's and as much as you're going to be disappointed with what I said about the whole Rick and Morty thing, Sean, people are going to be really upset with me when I talk about how frustrating this game is, who have just heard me quit on Silk Song, because there's no. In fact, this is worse for it. This is we're going to make you climb this thing for 20 minutes and one step out, and you will fall down a mudslide to the bottom. And you will have to do it all again. Fuck me. It really is like a gut punch when you see, especially when you land on a ledge and you know that you're on that ledge, but he still manages to slide down and off the side of that ledge and further down the fucking mountain.
But it is quite forgiving, though, right?
In places, yeah.
If you're on even footing, you've pretty much got as long as you need to place that next step.
That
usually
changes.
That changes. Okay, fine.
Sort of. So I'm in an area where it's sand,
right?
And there are bits where, in the sand levels, there are bits where the sand is moving from underneath you, and you have got to be fucking quick, to continue. I don't know why I'm so addicted to it. I really, really love the fact that we've all been playing this game. Well, the three of us have been playing this game. And we've been messaging each other about, have you seen this? No. Have you seen this? No. It's one of those games where you have no idea where your friends are within the game, because you can spend 20 hours and still be in the opening area. And you could have seen things that I haven't seen, and vice versa. So it was funny because when we started saying, have you seen, for example, I had the example, have you seen the bear on the bridge? And then I followed it up saying, look, I know this sounds like a spoiler, but to me, like it doesn't feel like it could be, because there are so many, like ultimately you're trying to climb the mountain and there are checkpoints for story beats as you're climbing the mountain, and they tend to be these camps that you come across. I think you can skip camps. I think you can miss out on whole scenes and stuff like that. But more importantly, there are so many, in the first like few areas, there are so many different directions you can go in, so many different ways you could go up that mountain, and so many different things you can see along the way, that makes it really interesting to talk to other people about. Have you seen this? Have you done that? What happens when you do this? All of this sort of stuff.
And the devs have specifically said, haven't they, like, God's sake, do not try and find everything.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I
because
can't
it's
imagine. It's funny because I've just finished an area. There is a portion of the game that is very linear, right? And I have just through that area now. And what's funny is that once you get to the other side, it's the most open looking the game's been. You know, like I've got there, I'm like, wow, look at this. It's really open. So I'm in that sort of area now. And you know, when you're going through, I think the game is at its best when you can fuck up. Like there are moments in those opening areas where you come across something and you go, I could go this way, or I could try and find a way around it. And I think that's where the game works. And in those opening areas, you're really interested in going to look at every little thing. Like you'll see something off into the distance, you'll see a hat on a tree or something like that, and you think, oh, I might be able to get that. And now that I'm been through the sort of linear area, I'm like, yeah, no, fuck it. I'm just gonna go to the top of the mountain now. That's my aim. I'm not.
That's all I'm doing. In one very very early on, I saw this man buy what looked like a little stall, like a market stall or a circus stall, I'm not sure. And I was like, oh, I'll go to him. And then I walked forward and then slid down this massive mud slide, which I think must catch most people out straight away. Yeah. And at that point,
I was designed for that shit. Yeah,
I was closest to picking my pad up and throwing it on the wall. I was like, this is I just slid down. I literally started the game. I was already angry at the game. I was like, I could have talked to him. I knew like every step was taking me for ages to do. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was so angry at that point. And but I made my way back up and I felt okay. But I was not then prepared to go and talk to that man. I was like, no, I'm just going to focus on my journey up the hill to the various camps. So I had a hat once, or a bucket, used the hat. I dropped it. It was only like 2 meters behind me. I'm like, I'm not going to go back and get it. I'm just
that mechanic is infuriating. So there are hats around the world, and I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I got a hat to a campsite once, and when I fell asleep, it gave me this whole like side mission, like this mini game thing that was like Nate going on a date by the looks of it for the first time, and being really awkward on a date, and you're playing it like a top-down 2D sort of RPG thing, but like really low res graphics and stuff. So if you find a hat, you go near it and you hold X, but you can press X way earlier than when you're near it.
Yeah.
But if you do that, he leans forward and just falls over. So you've got to be sure that you can actually get that hat, because they're usually in really sort of dodgy places, right? Like I don't think it was a hat, but there was something on a platform on a cliff, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go and pick that up. I walked over to the platform. The platform just fell down, and that was me rolling down the fucking cliff after that, and I was like, you fucking wankers. Like,
I saw one wankers. And I saw that because I saw these kind of glowing things in trees. I think it might be a bird or a fruit, I'm not sure. I was like, maybe I will. And I got a bit closer to it. I was like, look, I could probably do it, but I know the risk is if I fall, I will be falling down this massive hill, and that might have lost me 20 minutes. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to look at it. I'm like, there you are, Mr. Bird or Mr. Fruit. I'm off. I'm doing my own journey. There's so many things like that. I just cannot be doing it. But like at the beginning, I was almost trying to play a bit like Quap. I was like, okay, left, right, basically like left, right, forward, left, right, forward. I was basically trying to do it quite fast, and then I just kept falling over. I was like, this is a joke. Because then I just stopped and took it as slow as possible. You know, left trigger, forward, right trigger. I was basically doing like left trigger, forward, like 3 little bits, like because it's quite mechanical in that regard. Like the way you can hold the trigger to move your left or right leg, and then the amount you move like the stick. But you can, I was doing like 3 separate sections. So I was like left trigger, forward, right trigger, forward, and I was getting like a nice little rhythm and routine. And then now I'm a bit quicker than I was then. But me just stopping and then taking it as slow as possible to actually just go left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, and is much better for me. But yeah, it's super addictive. I think. I mean, like it's less than one more go and one more one more just I'll get to the top of the mountain, I'll get to this camp, I get to there, I get to here, I can see things, let me get to this, for this other bit. I stopped on one of the nights, it was like 1:30 at night, and I was like, I need to stop, but because also I'm getting tired now, and if I make a mistake,
I was going to say,
you have fucked yourself. I mean, to the point where one time I did fall down, and I was like, okay, the second I fell down, I was like, quit app on PlayStation. I can't save, and obviously, I turned back the game back on, and I was just down the bottom of the mountain. So yeah, it's not one of those games like, oh, quickly, just stop it before it saves. I've actually fucked it. No, it is. So I stopped at this bit when it was late at night, because I knew if I fell down there because I was tired or not concentrating, it would have been hell to pay, and I would have had to have gone back up, and it would have been like 2:30 in the morning, and then it would have stopped. So I thought, no, be sensible and stop. But yeah, it's incredibly addictive, because once you kind of get it down and really know how to place your foot, and how to move the camera angle to make it easier if you're kind of going over planks and stuff, to make it almost like a top-down camera. Yeah, it's more about how you deal with the various surfaces, whether it's sand or mud or snow or other bits. But yeah, it's really addictive, because you think, I just want to get to the top of there, then I'll stop. Oh, there's something else now I can see. I'll go there, and I'll get through this water section or through this puzzle section, and it's super addictive.
It's all I've wanted to play. It is all I've wanted to play.
I have started playing other games this week, for sure.
Well, I mean, we're going to talk about Hades 2 in a bit, but that came out, I bought it, and I've put probably about an hour into it, because all I want to do is play baby steps, and I don't quite understand why. Like, I don't understand why.
Sorry, James, go on. You've not spoken.
See, I've tried. You see, I wasn't sure if I wanted to play this, because I'm still.
No, I told you not to play it. You'll hate this game.
Because I was still persisting with Silksong as well. It's like, which is obviously I've just got to
This is harder,
and it is, and that's the thing, because I started playing it, and I played because I just downloaded the trial, and I was like, there's an hour trial. I played for about 30 minutes, and I was like, nah, I don't think this is not for me. I can appreciate what it's doing, and I can appreciate why people really enjoy it. But for me personally, I was just like, nah, I don't. This is going to do my head in.
Yeah, because the first hour or so I did hate as well, but then I got into a rhythm, and I'm like, okay, I appreciate it, and I'm liking it a lot more. But yeah, the first night was rough. Like I said, I was so angry that first time I slipped down that mudslide. I'm like, fucking hell, it's taking me 20 minutes to get nowhere.
Mate, you wait until some of the bit. I don't want to be the dick, but you wait until some of the bits later. There was one area that I cannot wait to see how you react to it. And it's genuinely true. Every time I've posted in our WhatsApp group going, fuck this bit of the game, this isn't, I'm done, I think I'm done. And then I'll put it down, try one more time and do it. And I'm like, it's like it can hear me. It's like it can hear me.
It's just fascinating, isn't it? Because, again, it's Bennett Foddy game, and so it's all about this very fine control of your character, and therefore the relationship you have with the ground you are stood on. So, yeah, in Silksong, you might be like, oh my god, there's a huge boss, it's really difficult, and it's summoning loads of minions, whereas in this you're like, oh fuck, there's a gap between these two planks, and they're quite narrow,
and there's and there's a stream as well. If I put my foot in that, it's game over.
Yeah, and that just fills you with dread. But I don't know, it's interesting. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna play. I have enjoyed what I've played of it so far. Obviously, part of me is like, have I got the energy for this? But I do think the difference between this and Silksong, I mean, they're not similar games at all anyway. But,
no, it's funny that we're comparing them, though.
But in terms of the difficulty stuff, I feel like with Silksong, the difficulty was, like, the things I was enjoying was, yes, the movement, elements of the combat, and the world, and the exploration, and the soundtrack, and the characters, and all that stuff. A really fucking solid boss fight is a barrier to those things, whereas this is like the sheer difficulty of getting around is the thing. Like it's the hard bit, but it's also the enjoyable bit of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, people enjoy the bosses in Silksong. That's absolutely fine. Just to me, they just feel like a blocker to the things I was really liking. Whereas here, it's like you are signing up for a game where it is hard to get around.
Everything about it, yeah.
Look,
this is what worries me. Like, I do worry about how hard it's going to get, because the area that I've just done is insanely difficult, and it took me ages to get through.
See, also,
now that I'm on the other side, there's
if it's like 20 hours as well, like
that was
it's not.
Is it not?
No,
Okay,
it's
okay.
not. Like I've looked at how long to beat, and the average is 10. So I think that might have been bullshit. I think I am on the final third of the game now, and this I am worried that it gets insanely hard, but I am invested now. Like I've done enough hard bits to make me go, I can't quit now. Like I've done all of that, and I'm pretty sure that's by design. I'm pretty sure that's how he wants you to feel when you're playing this game, that you're going, but I've done all those hard bits. I don't want that to be for nothing. I need to somehow finish this.
Yeah. I mean, after I put in a fair amount of hours and enjoying it, I was like, I'll watch a review because I haven't actually saw any kind of critical response to this. And the review almost put me off because some of the videos I'm like, oh, this looks ridiculously hard at points when I was just struggling to, I don't know, walk forward. But I'll get it. But also, it really does manage to somehow convey like the feelings you get when going on a big walk or hike, you know, when you're like actually making sure you're putting your feet in the right place, if you're in like, you know, if it's raining or muddy. And yeah, just also like one of the worst things you can do when you're on a hike, if it's like a big one, is like I think basically we're right near the peak. Well, that as well. I think we're right near the peak. I think we're right near the end here. Like if you're with a group and it's like, oh no, it's okay. I know it's tough, but like we're right near the trig, right near the top, and like you never are. And it's just like this and this. Like yeah, it's stupid to think that you're right near where you need to get to, because once you get to the top of this bit, there's another massive bit to get to. But just the fact that you're like so focused on where your legs are, it felt quite realistic in that regard to like walks I've been on. So
when you play this for 2 to 3 hours straight and then you walk upstairs.
Oh yes, yeah, for sure, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like watching like a race film and then driving home after from the cinema. It's like
you worry about like leaning too far forward as you're going up the stairs.
yeah. And that's right. I did say a race film. Right, that was Baby Steps. Should we do Hades 2? Because we've all been playing Hades 2.
But again, like a bit like you, David, I've only played about an hour, I think.
Yeah, well, Sean's got the most comprehensive look at this because you finished it now.
So I mean,
technically,
I can probably say now. So I blagged early access to version 1.0. So I have put over 30 hours into this. I'm trying to think how to talk about this because it's complicated. I'm assuming a lot of people listening have played the first game where, you were playing as Zagreus and you were fighting your way out of hell, or Hades. No, Hades is the guy. I always forget. Fighting your way out of hell. And then you would, and then once you eventually had one successful run, it was then revealed that, oh no, there's a bit more to it. And it's over successive runs that the story would continue. And then eventually there was actual, end credits and the sort of conclusion of the story. What's really fascinating about this one is this is not a spoiler because you see this immediately when you first go out on a you see your sort of home base area and you first go out on a run. There are 2 exits and one of them is sealed off. So straight away you're like, okay, that's interesting. I wonder what that means. And I kind of thought, oh well, that'll be like end game shit, right? Nope. It opens up way sooner than you would think, and basically there are 2 routes. I'm not going to go into like what that means. Like obviously there are story implications to it, and it's incredible the way the game reacts to the decisions you make and where you go. But yeah, basically there are 2 separate runs you can do in this. With different goals, different, completely different areas, different resources you get from them. So essentially, because having finished the first game and, knowing there was another one coming, it's like, oh, well, what can they really do with it? Are you going to be like fighting your way down into hell or somewhere else? And it's like, well, there are multiple routes. And that alone I find really fascinating. So this time you're playing as Miscellaneous, who is Zagreus' sister. The story is that basically Miscellaneous was born presumably not long after the events of the first game, and then Kronos, the Titan of Time, took over the underworld and froze or imprisoned everyone, but you were whisked away, and then so basically Miscellaneous spent her entire life being trained to defeat Kronos. So basically, of the 2 routes, I've cleared them both at least once. But I'm still like, there is still story stuff to go, and I'm still finding it really interesting. Still like really excited to actually get it properly done. I absolutely love it. If that wasn't already obvious, I think like Millennium's not as like, she's not like, because Zagreus in the first game was quite sarky. He was not like laugh out loud funny, but he was very likable. Millennium's fine. But then if she spent her entire life just being trained to kill a god, I suppose you could argue, well, yeah, maybe she's not going to have a very finely tuned sense of humour. But the supporting cast are great. There are some you will recognise from the first game, but also lots of new ones. Yeah, it's really fucking good. So are you all only about like an hour into it or whatever then? Or
Yeah, my first impression is that it is fucking very similar to Hades.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Denton about it in the week, and he says, no, that changes up a bit the more you play out.
Sure.
So I'm looking forward to that. But I was blown away at how similar it felt and looked and played, and everything about it really was very, very Hades.
There was that. I mean, I also felt quite overwhelmed as well. I'm still feeling a bit overwhelmed at the moment with because there seems to be so many things to collect and to kind of understand how the systems like work with each other and everything. And
it doesn't explain, does it, at the beginning?
No, there's
You're
no.
just like,
Yeah, but that was the same with Hades, right?
Yeah.
And what was that?
I was trying to remember
so
that.
good
Actually. I was
about
like,
it.
was Hades 1 the same as this? Because
it was.
you just like dropped in, you're like, oh, hang on, where the...
Yeah, I'm sure that it will all become clear. Like as the more, because as I said, I've only played for an hour, so definitely it's all going to become clear. But yeah, at the beginning, it does feel a bit like I don't know what to do, and well, I do know what to do, but like buying stuff.
See,
in
I'm
the shop.
confident in knowing
it comes
that
together.
I'm confident in knowing that, because I was so like that with the first Hades. There was like you can put points into that, and then you can give people gifts, and what the fuck am I supposed to be doing here? But knowing how that game went, I'm like, okay, I'm totally into this. But what got to me is that like even the structure is like you walk out and then you go and you speak to the bones guys like to test your weapons, and then you go into the main game, and then I've only got to the first mid boss. I haven't got to the first main boss yet, but like and even there's an area where you can overlook the land, and there's a
still in there.
character that you can talk to after you die who tells you who you died to and stuff. Like there's a lot of it's very, very Hades, obviously. I just the only other thing that slightly concerns me is that the one thing that Hades had that this doesn't for me in the first hour is that I was really interested in the story from minute one in Hades, whereas the story I'm kind of like, okay, let's see. It's a bit of or not a revenge story, but it is a revenge story essentially.
It's weird,
and
isn't
I'm
it?
sure it gets more
because
interesting.
on the one hand, you come to the sequel, because in the first game you grew to love the cast, and then in this one, it's sort of it relies on you sort of being invested in those characters, but in the sense that they're mostly gone, and it's like, well, I want to hang out with them. I want to be back in Hades, and I want to see how all those characters are doing. And I mean, I don't know
what Hades did really well that this does less well in terms of narrative at the start is that Hades was very much, we're not going to get you deep involved in the politics and the myths and the legends of these gods and stuff. What we're going to do is give you a grumpy teenager arguing with his dad, and that gives you the in then, and it gets you used to the characters before it starts layering on the history and and what Zagreus was really setting out to do and stuff.
Well, plus Zagreus' thing was a very personal quest, wasn't it? That you wanted to see his mum.
Yes.
Like, it's quite sweet, really. It's Whereas
this was very much like, we're going to lay on thick lore from the off, and that's really quite. Look, it's fine, and some people really enjoy that, but I really liked how it sort of gave you a silly in with Hades, with this sort of struggle against your dad, who's like, you can't do anything, you idiot, and you're like,
but
yes,
see, I think that's
can.
something it does. Like, one change that I really prefer in this is, so in the first Hades, every time you failed, your dad's there at home going, oh yeah, you fucking died again, did you stupid prick? Not in those words. Whereas in this, so Millennium has been raised by Hecate, who's this, the Witch of the Crossroads, and she's like she's quite strict. She's obviously been quite hard on Millennium, but she's actually sort of endlessly supportive as well.
Yes.
So
yeah.
you so when you restart, like there's one really nice bit where Millennium's sort of like, I forget the exact wording, but she's like, I suck at this, like I keep failing. And basically, and Hecate says, like, I've got endless patience for your failures, but not for that attitude, right? Like, which I thought was quite nice. And yeah, sort of Kronos being the big bad, he does taunt you and he fucks with you, but only when you're out of the first area. So it's like, if you have a real shiter of a run and you don't even make it to the first boss or whatever, Kronos isn't going to bother you. But he will if you've clearly started grasping things and you started making quite a bit of progress, which I thought was quite a nice touch.
See, because it is, I mean, that is a tone difference, right? And I'm sure that's intentional, because in Hades, everyone around you thinks you're a prick and an idiot.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, everyone's like, "You got this. We got to. We don't worry about it. We're going to do this."
There's a few people who really don't want you to succeed.
Yes, there's a couple. There's a couple, that I've met that seems to be very negative as well. But for the main part, there's a lot of supportive characters in there. Yeah. I don't think there were any in Hades. No. I mean, maybe there was one. There was one actually, wasn't there? But yeah, I don't know. I played it and I was like, oh my god, this is the amazing combat that I absolutely adore. I am going to be so fucking into this when I sit down and properly get into it. Like I've got no qualms about how much I'm going to love this game once I sit down and go. But at the same time, at the back of my head, I'm going, but if I can get that man up that hill a little bit more,
yeah, exactly,
then he'll move forward, and then maybe I'll see a cutscene that I sort of tart at and don't get.
Also don't even like.
And that's what I'm doing with my life at the moment, Sean. That's how my life is going.
I mean, obviously, Hades 2 is difficult to talk about because, like I say, I'm 30 odd hours in, and my knowledge of the fucking systems and synergies between different powers and stuff is now, I can't talk about it like a human being anymore. But suffice to say, that stuff gets really fascinating. The way it drip feeds new stuff is brilliant. Like, I was like, because I watched, I can't remember why, but I think I was like rewatching a Nintendo Direct with Isaac, and they showed like the Hades 2 trailer, and there were gods in, like, so at this point I was like 20 plus hours in. There were gods in that trailer I hadn't met in the game yet, and I was like, holy,
cool,
fuck, like like it really,
that's cool.
There's so much to it. It really drags it out, and as I say, the it's still like so reactive to everything you do. Like the sheer amount of dialogue in this must be like the flow charts they must have put together to plan out all the dialogue must be absolutely insane, because it can literally say there's these two different routes, and you might pick one of the routes a couple of times, and then when you go back to the other one, someone will say like, oh, we haven't seen you for a couple of nights, you must have done gone the other route or whatever, and just stuff like that. It's just constantly happening. Like, it's so,
I wish it was done like
reactive.
I wish it was done like the old football games of the early 2000s.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
you haven't been here for 6 days. I can't believe you fought the other person earlier.
I mean,
See, I thought you were going to say, because didn't FIFA start a thing where it was sort of tracking stats, and then it would mention things that it hadn't mentioned previously. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's his.
What, FIFA?
Yeah, I thought it was FIFA that did that. Did not? Have I made that up?
No, for me, it was. I just instantly think of the. And
Oh,
today's
it's
game is
64.
between England and France. It's England 2, France 0. You'd be like, what the fuck is going on here?
Sean, can I ask about the difficulty of this game though? Like, is there a nice upward curve as it goes on, or is it really difficult? Is what I'm trying to ask.
I did. I'm trying to think. I think I got maybe 10 hours in before I turned God mode on, and the way God mode works in this is much more gradual. So in the first game, if you enabled it, it gave you, was it like a 40% damage reduction, and then every time you died, that would go up by like 1%. Whereas in this one, it starts at 20%. So you're not immediately like, brilliant, this is way easier, but it's enough of a helping hand. and I think it goes up by 2% every time you die after that. So yeah, I enabled that sort of 10 hours in, and yeah, it's felt like a really nice gradual difficulty curve. Yeah. And as we talked about last week, the whole thing of yes, the even after a failed attempt, you've still gathered stuff that you can then put into leveling things up or improving things, and the story continues and reacts to like your failure, but in quite meaningful ways. Like if you were really good at this and you finished it really quickly, you would miss loads of stuff. Like there's so much story built into the
journey.
Exactly. Yeah. I really like it.
I'm looking forward to playing more, especially because
I think it sounds like I'm negative, but the truth is I haven't played it long enough. That's what it is. And again, it's always tough to start a sequel of a game that you love so much because you're comparing the start of the journey to the end of a journey that you had previously. So I'm sure that this game will grow on me. It's just finding the time to put into it that I need to put into it. I'll get there. I will get there. Right, James. I want you to talk about Blippo Plus because I don't know anything about Blippo Plus. And every time it was put in a WhatsApp group, I assumed it was a new service that Sean Bell had signed up to. What is Blippo Plus?
I mean, every time I saw that, because it was Matt actually that alerted me to this because he mentioned
I was really excited.
It's got like reviews and stuff like that, and I was like,
I just say I just haven't found the time to play this week. It's on my list, but it's as excited as I was, but I'm really happy you're playing or someone else is playing at least, James. So I can hear what you think.
But then it's like every time I saw it, I always just think of Blippi for some reason every time, and even though it's nothing to do with that whatsoever. This I think began life as a Playdate game. I think that's what it was originally supposed to be.
It is a Playdate game. It's just they've also decided to make a different version of it. Yeah, it's still a Playdate game.
And it's kind of strange because it's a bit difficult to talk about because it's not really a game as such. It's basically like video. Like you're really just watching video, and the major interaction is flicking between channels and watching shows. But also you can read like the game's like version of CFAX, / teletext as well, which is that. And the premise is that you're viewing like signals from an alien TV network, it's on this network which is called Blippo Plus. And the key to the whole thing is that like it looks like 90s cable TV basically, and it really does. Like it looks like some of the programs, they look so much just like MTV, as I remember it in the 90s, like with all like the camera angles and like the presenting style as well is like really heavily like based on that. And I mean there is so basically the core gameplay is that you flick through these different channels. There's usually about 10 or 11 of them. And I mean, the fortunate thing about it is that each video sequence that you see none of them are particularly long, which is great because some of them, I mean, the humor like works and for some of them doesn't work for others. But then it's kind of, that's one of the good things because, you're watching all these sort of like aliens doing things like, soap opera. Like there's a soap opera that's got like the cast are all clones is the joke, for the thing, but it's also not very good, and which is one of the other things. Then you've got like music programs as well. You've got like science programs that are like explaining, this thing called the bend, which is supposedly how you've been able to like tap into this signals so that you can watch the stuff. And so most of the programs are only about 2 or 3 minutes long tops, and then it cycles over to the next program, and then basically once you've watched enough content on one stream, as it were, you then get an alert which then tells you there's a new package available and you can download it, and then it basically it rescans the spectrum again, and you get more of the same, basically like more videos and more continuing stories and stuff like that. And it's pretty good. What I think the reason it was maybe not originally just for Playdate, but one of the points of it was that for the Playdate, I don't know if they still did this, but the idea was that they'd release a package like every week. Like there'd be like a new one every week, and then you could download it, watch all of that content, and it would because there is a narrative that's going through the whole thing as well, which it's not very heavy-handed in like the way that it presents it, but there is it's a pretty good story that runs through it. And I think originally it was going to be like 10 weeks, like you were going to like run through the game in 10 weeks, but for the Switch, which is what I was playing it on, obviously it's not like that, and it's you can just sit there and just watch it, which is what I did. And I mean, as I say, your mileage will all depend on whether you find the concept entertaining and whether you have the nostalgia for the 90s, which I do. And so I was watching this and I was just like, okay, some of this stuff isn't landing in terms of like comedy, but I can still really appreciate the aesthetics that are like and the work that's gone into this. Some of the stories are pretty. Some of the the channels are pretty funny. Like there's the Bushwalker one. Have you seen this one, Sean? Where it's
I've seen that. Yeah.
basically somebody just walking through the bush,
Yeah.
and he's like holding like an axe and a knife, and just like walking through the bush. And the thing I've really liked about that was that it was obviously they're like emulating what it's like in a game when you're walking, and the way that like you're holding these tools in your hands, and he like from time to time he's just like turning them around in his hands, and you're like. And you just sit there thinking, actually, yeah, why would you do that? Like when you're walking, like, and it's like obviously it's just like it's a game conceit or whatever.
And without him holding the tools or whatever, it's just relaxing nature footage.
Yeah.
But it's got this weirdly menacing aura.
Of just like this guy walking through the bush with an axe and a knife, and it's like, why? Like I have no idea why he's doing this, which was pretty good. And I mean, as I said, some of the stuff works. Like there's also this one, there's like a quiz show as well with a guy dressed up as a wizard, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good with this like couple that are like on it, like trying to get through it. And I don't know, there's a bit of a sort of a thing about like she's like the woman is pretty annoyed because the other guy keeps like fucking up from time to time as well and like ruining her the run. It's good. It's really quite enjoyable. But again, it's one of those things that I think I can really imagine this annoying people like this. Yeah. I think it's
that seems to be a theme with games that have come out recently.
Yeah, like I can really see like if you don't like jive with like any of like the humor at all or any of the like the visual style or anything like that, you'll hate this because it's barely a game. It really is barely a game. It's just like you're just watching TV basically. And but if you like it, it's good.
That's right. How much is it?
It's £10.
Tenner,
Yeah. Yeah, it was £10.
For a tenner, like to just like leave it on while you're like working from home or whatever.
Yeah,
I think is really really nice.
Yeah.
Like James, well, it's interesting because on the one hand, it's like for us, it's very nostalgic, but also because we never had like public access cable TV in the UK. We had 4 channels and then a 5th one. Holy shit! So it's sort of interesting to get a feel of like. This sort of wide, what am I trying to say? The sort of Wild West of cable TV. You hear about Americans talking about, like, there'd be fucking hundreds of channels and you just flick through them and it was just all weird shit that people would just make. And it's got that feel to it. So it's nice to sort of get that experience from it in a way. And like,
it's true because that's one of the other points because we had cable eventually because it like came to where we lived and it was just like this. Like it was really just like this. Like some of the stuff to the point where like one of the channels is just like they keep showing. It's basically just like mood music. And like sort of
relaxing
like
footage.
visual effects and stuff. And I remember when my friend first got like cable around his house and like going over there and he was just like, "Oh, watch this channel." And it was called the Landscape Channel. And all it was just like it was a screensaver. Essentially a screensaver with like music in the background. He was like, "Oh, I love to do my homework, listening to this." And I'm just like, really? But
now that stuff is massive on YouTube.
Yeah,
exactly. Lo-fi beats now.
Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there. In 20 years, I'm gonna be doing that on the Switch for £10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's I mean, particularly, I mean, also like the MTV-ness of it is incredible. Like in terms of like the camera angles in particular that they use, it's so early 90s,
this is it, isn't it? Because it would be so easy to sort of glance at it and be like, oh yeah, it looks bad and old. Like no, the attention to detail in how they've made it look bad and old, like. It's absolutely painstaking the stuff they've done with it. Like
the Rubber Report, which is like it's like an entertainment like program, and like the style that like the host uses is just so like I remember from like early like MTV.
Yeah, and again, like and the performances are like bad, quote unquote, but again, they are really really accurately emulating that sort of that 90s TV thing. Like a lot of work has gone into this.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a really interesting, and I think some people.
I cannot believe this is a port from a fucking
Playdate.
Well, this is it, because
You can
like-
also press the Y button, and it will shift to Playdate mode on the
Oh,
Switch
really?
as well.
Oh, really?
So it's
So
all in
presumably
black
that's
and white,
brilliant.
which is pretty cool.
it's I find it so strange that this was originally. I mean, obviously they must have always planned to do a full color version of it, because they wouldn't just do it in black and white for the Playdate and then be like, oh, apparently we're releasing it on other things. This must have always been the plan. But obviously the Playdate is very weird, sort of idiosyncratic little piece of kit. I'm not hating on it, but I feel like that would be a miserable way to experience this game. Because,
right.
well, it's telly. Like, it's supposed to look like
Yeah,
television.
yeah.
I can't imagine,
Yeah.
you know, having to watch it on just the tiny...
Yeah, you can use the
I
crank,
would say-
Sean. You can
I'd
crank
say-
to your heart's content.
There's something I'd say about that though, because I think I know what you mean with that, but then also part of the story of this whole game is that you're supposed to be like viewing something from far away. That's
Yeah,
like
true.
that's coming
And you've
through
just
like
intercepted it,
statically,
haven't
and
you?
you've
Yeah,
intercepted it or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like I can kind of get that, like the idea of like using like this, like the Playdate or something like that, as being like, oh, this can pick this up,
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
but
yeah.
other things can't or whatever. It's like, there's something there with that, but yeah.
On a complete tangent here, what I like to do is when the guys are talking about video games, I go onto YouTube and search the game and just watch footage so I can get a vibe for it when they're talking about it. YouTube's so bizarre because I've searched Blippo Plus, and on the results is unintentional ASMR very thorough table tennis racket tester. Which
It's a
is
classic.
one of my favourite videos of all
Yeah.
time. The gloss level is 4%, which is within the limits. You know, but it's weird how YouTube works. I've currently got someone testing a tennis racket, which, funnily enough, looks like footage from Blippo Plus. So maybe that's where it is. That's where we're at. Okay, cool. I can't see myself buying this. I'm not nostalgic for that era of television at all. Like that era of television, I kind of hated at the time, and looking back on it makes me hate it more. So maybe this just isn't for me. But
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure you
gradually
like it,
enjoying
especially because some of the humor is really hit and miss. Like some of
It
it,
is.
I think
Oh, really?
works, but
And
some of
even when
it's-
it hits, it's rarely
it's not
laugh out loud funny, is it?
It's not really. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Well,
Well,
rather
what
than-
you've done
I'm
there.
currently obsessed with a game that is actively I'm not finding funny. So maybe this is a step up. But I know what you mean. I always found that with the early digital, what is it, Revolver, E3 stuff that they used.
Yeah,
to do.
Devolver, yeah.
Oh, Devolver.
Oh yeah, Devolver. That's it. I remember just thinking, oh god, this is just not funny. I don't get look at us. It was like look at us, and I'm just like I don't want to.
Show me the
Okay.
trailers. For God's
That's
sake.
Blippo Plus. We've got a few more games down. James, do you want to finish off what you've played?
Yeah, I mean, I've also played, Lego Voyagers, because Asher and I finished.
Did you finish
this.
it?
Yeah, we finished.
Yes,
it over the
mate.
weekend.
Love
I
it.
mean, generally, I did enjoy it, despite the company I was keeping. But it was.
That's your
And
son.
that's your child, by the way, everyone.
You know, we got a message. This is one of the shitty messages I had to clear out of the inbox.
Right, but let's read it anyway. Go on.
It was having to go at me for the way I talk about my child, and yet James gets fuck all.
Hold on. What did they say about you saying about your child? What was the
It was.
Angle.
It's not worth getting it. It was a really
Okay, all right,
weird,
fine,
nasty
fine,
message.
yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, so.
fucking weird?
It's very weird.
Listen, Sean haters, there are better things you could go through in that. You know what I mean? Like I could think of 20 things better than how he talks about his kid. For fuck's sake, go on.
But like,
James.
let me clarify this. I play a lot of games with Asher. Like we played loads of stuff together, and we always have a really, really good time, and it's great. For some reason, this game was not one of those games, and it just did my head in. Like playing it with him, it absolutely did my head in. And it's funny because I mean I've sent you a couple of videos, David, of like
You
bits.
did, and I looked at it and thought Charlie did the same. And all right, he's significantly
Exactly.
younger.
He's a lot younger than Asher is. And it's just like.
James
But
is like,
why
I
are
don't
you
have to
getting
do that
angry
shit
about it?
anymore. My kid's grown up. It's fine.
But no, it's just the way it was the persistent. I mean, and I can appreciate that in terms of I like comedy where you just keep pushing the point over and over and over again to the point where it's no longer funny, but then it becomes funny again because you keep doing
Stuart
it.
Lee method, yeah.
I love all that, but I met my match with Asher with this game because he was just doing my head in, like playing it. It was just like everything was just a struggle.
I'd love to go into the end. Did you have an emotional attachment to the ending?
Well, that was the other problem because we didn't because we had the different sides than you had. Like, so I was the blue one, and he was the red one. And after what you'd said about it, I was like, I think I know where this is going at this point.
Okay, yeah.
And like we played it.
We don't want to. Yeah,
exactly.
We don't wanna give anything away.
I'm not going to give anything away, but let's just say he was livid. At the end of that,
he was livid.
Yeah, he was furious. He was absolutely furious because he wanted. I don't want to say. This. He wanted certain experiences
I'm interested
that he was denying.
Right, okay. I'm interested to talk to you about after. Yeah, because I honestly that fucking killed me, and it fucking killed me the ending of that game.
And I totally get that. If you have it the way round you had it, that makes complete sense. But if it's the other way, it ends up being really mean spirited. Like
okay, right, okay. I suppose it does. Yeah.
Totally mean spirited. It's like
Stop muting yourself. So if I was looking at that game as a whole, and maybe look, they must have had a different idea in their head. Like for me, it was very much a father-son, father-daughter thing, or parent. Why am I saying father? Because it's me, like a parent-child thing. It feels like to me. But had they done that, so all right, I'm going to tell you something about the game. If you really don't want to know anything about it, then please skip on. But it's, it happens quite early. You start off as like single 1x1 blocks of Lego, right? And then halfway through the game, one of them becomes a 2x1. So it's like the bigger one. But that doesn't work with the narrative that I had in my head. Yeah. Because technically the child character gets bigger and the 1x1 stays that size, till later on. And I'm thinking, no, actually, what they should have done was said, do you want to be the 1x1 character or the 2x1 character?
Yeah.
And the roles are done like that.
And you'd have interpreted that as parent.
Yeah, you would instantly go, well, I'm the bigger one, so I do the parent role and you do the child. So it makes me think that maybe they had a different narrative in their head when they were designing this. But if you ignore that and play it the way I played it, you're gonna cry your eyes out, mate. You are going to lose your shit because I was but you didn't have that emotional attachment.
No, because as I said, Asher was
you were angry at your child. Yeah.
No, not just that. He was angry at the outcome because he was just like, well, he didn't say this is bullshit. But
because he wanted to do the thing.
Yeah, and it's just right. And it's like you don't get the opportunity, do you? And it's just yeah, it's.
Did you press the button at the end?
Yeah,
the very end.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, but were you like, I probably wouldn't have done that if this was real.
Exactly. Well, no, just think about it, right? Think about it, what your experience that you had. Imagine if it's reversed and you're basically, it's just like, it's awful. It's
so just to clarify, what's the better experience? If we're playing with our kids, the adult is the blue one or the red one?
The red one.
The red one.
Okay.
The adult's the red one and the child's the blue one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other way round, it ends up with Asher declaring that's one of the worst endings to a game I've ever played. So it's just
fuck off. It's one
seriously.
of the best.
Yeah, exactly.
God,
but
the
framing changes it like massively.
It really does. It really does. I want to talk to people that have completed it just to explain what I mean because this sounds like the ramblings of a madman. but yeah. Okay. Are you not tempted to play this with Isaac? Sean?
I am, but now I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel by the end. Obviously, I'll make sure I'm the red character, I guess.
I think it does. I think it does like a really good. I think it does a really good job of saying, you know what, there's some tough bits in this game, but you can do that tough stuff alone, right? And you can send the sort of less experienced player off to go and gather things for you while you're doing the tougher bits and the more sort of picky bits. I can't recommend it enough. Like I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was really, really good. And that last hour was fucking great. But it's a shame you didn't have that same experience, James.
I mean, also, those the tests that you have to do at the end as well was like
I loved them. We had such a laugh with those.
I ended up holding 2 controllers and doing one of them because I just got so fed up.
We had to do that for the final one of the one that I'm assuming you're talking about, the landing.
Yes,
we had
that
to do.
one. Yeah,
we had to do that for the final one of that because it was so tough. No, it wasn't. It was the second one we had to do. The second one was the toughest one. The final one wasn't too bad. It was the second one that we really struggled with. And I said, right, let me do both of them. But that was it, which is kind of a failure for a co-op game, right?
I mean that was the only one of the tests that we had to do that. We didn't have to do that. It was the one that I decided we were going to do that because I just couldn't take it any longer. But the rest were all fine. It was just that one.
Yeah. It's a fucking good game. Right. There's only one more game left. Oh, no, there are 2. Sean, you go. You want to talk about Fortnite again?
I don't know if I want to talk about it. It's just, unfortunately, another week
That's all you
elapsed.
talk about these days.
And
on our YouTube videos, you can see that little graph of where people listen and don't listen. It's that's got plummet now.
This is a
I'm
spy
joking,
catchery.
Sean. I'm joking.
it's the Daft Punk experience, Dave. God's
Some of the
sake.
videos. Some of the videos I've seen from this are hilarious. There was one where, so it's Daft Punk at the moment, right? And you could do the emotes. There's a thing in Fortnite where you can all gather together and start playing instruments instead of fighting, and you form a band. And there was one where there was a whole group of people playing instruments, forming and playing instruments. Then one of them tried to join in. They all got the guns out, shot them, and then did the dance around their dead body. And I was like, that's the funniest thing I've seen on the internet for a while. That was amazing, yeah.
So it's just been interesting because this is my first, because it's not like one of the concerts. I mean, it is a bit.
The concerts,
the music concerts they have.
Yeah, sound like my nan.
What do you call it? Like gigs? I don't know. What do you call them in Fortnite? In real life, I would call it a gig, but in
Events.
this, I don't know.
They call them events.
It's a musical event.
Marketing opportunity.
Marketing opportunity. It certainly is one of those. Well, this is what's been so funny is when like a week or 2 ago, this big fucking obelisk just appeared on the map with like a date above it, and then. And people were like, if you go up to it, you can hear music and voices and stuff. And then it was revealed it's going to be this Daft Punk thing. And then it was so funny because the press release was like, there's a Daft Punk event happening next week. They're not getting back together. Don't start. I mean, which is hilarious because, supposedly there were these rumors that that for the last few years, all their festival appearances were just like, they would just pay other people to put the helmets on and do whatever. And now they've gone the next step. They're like, there's not even... It's all just in computers now, isn't it? So now there's a new Daft Punk experience, even though they've done nothing towards it. But yeah, it's like this like venue that you go to, and there's like all these sort of different little activities. But then there also is like a sort of like a dance hall, you could call it, where the concert is. And and it's pretty fucking spectacular. Like we were really impressed with it. Like because I'm not like a big Daft Punk guy. Like I back in the MTV days, like I was always buzzing when like Around the World came on, or Da Funk or whatever. But like they sort of lost me from One More Time onwards. But even then, I was walking around like, oh my god, there's a big statue of the dog guy from the Da Funk video. What the fuck? So even an old man like me found something to latch onto, and it was nice and quite spectacular, and it, like, I still hate that it's in Fortnite, right? Because it's like, this is really good.
Right.
And one day it will go offline and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a thing that you should be able to just download and do whenever you want because it's quite cool. And like fucking loads of work has gone into it. But yeah, we all sat around and all played it together and it was really nice. Fortnite, 10 out of 10.
Sean, you're going to put in your game of the year, aren't you, this year?
I mean, that would be very funny. But
Wild card
I don't
Fortnite.
agree there.
No, because there's loads of stuff I still hate about it. Like,
yeah. Who did the hit of the summer thing? Was that Lemmy?
That was Lemmy.
Yeah.
Lemmy. I keep calling him Lemmy. Want to lose it? Right. Okay. I've only got a brief mention here for FC26, which came out. Well, it came out technically on Friday.
Yeah.
But you've been able to play it earlier if you had like the super duper version of it or whatever it was, or the 10-hour trial. I should say up front, I got a code for this. I thank you for sending this over, because it really begrudges me to spend money on this game.
I did buy it.
Yeah, me too.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
But
How much
it's
did you pay for
50
it?
quid through loaded.com.
That's true. Oh, all right. we don't get a
Previously known as
card.
CD keys.
Yeah,
50 quid. So I was like, okay, fine.
I'm currently in the fucking wheel of FC/FIFA, the sort of disparity of playing that game where I'm in the they've fixed it all. It's great now. That I'm at that moment, and I know that within 2 months there'll be a couple of updates and it'll just go back to being the game that everyone. What happens, right? This, and I may be overthinking this, but what seems to happen is they release a new one of these games, everyone complains about it until it just reverts back to last year's game. Like, that's how it feels. I know you have a completely different experience, James, because you play offline. You know,
I only play
career mode.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm solely talking about the online aspect of the game. That's how it feels that it works. Is that they release the game, everyone gets angry about subtle changes they've made, because any sort of change for someone that plays like Ultimate Team every single day is like a fucking nightmare. They moan and moan and moan, and then they release a patch and it just reverts it back to last year's version.
That's most of these games. I mean, like. But Battlefield and loads of these kind of online games, like the new one's here. It's got less features than the previous version did, and changes, and then they eventually kind of build up to what it had previously with new DLC or the old DLC in the new game, and then the features are being kind of downplayed or just diluted, and then suddenly okay, game's good again, bang, new one out, and rinse and repeat.
Yeah,
but what are the major changes this time? And I bought it, and I saw a review today from VGC being like 3 out of 5, saying the changes are changes and they're barely doing anything. Another review I saw was really positive. So what is the big thing this year?
They've got 2 different game styles now. You can either play competitive mode, which is the normal FIFA that you're used to, or authentic, where they just slow it down a bit. What are you playing, Sean? Sean? What are you playing, James? What version of it?
That's
are you
the thing.
playing?
I'm playing because I only really play career mode. That's the only thing I really care about. And I've been playing it on authentic. And yeah, it's really slow. Like it's slowed it down massively. I mean, the other thing that
in a more realistic manner, like
no, it just feels slow. It doesn't feel like particularly realistic or anything at all. I mean, it's the other thing is they've added, like, for career mode stuff, they've added like supposedly like random events as well that are supposed to happen. Like things like your team has got food poisoning or whatever, so they're all ill and stuff like that before games and stuff like that. And there's supposed to be like more like manager merry-go-round like going on as well. Of, like,
good.
People getting sacked and all that kind of thing. But I'm only about 7 or 8 games in, so I've not seen any of that yet. But I'm hoping that's going to make a difference.
I mean, is it like a club like Chelsea that sacks their managers all the time? Like, I hope the probability is higher for them, or
yeah, it's
depending on the owners, like Forest, etc. Like, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's just right. I've got a long-term project. I've got a long-term
definitely.
which,
You've got the backing of the board as well.
I got the backing, so it's fine. They've really bought into my philosophy.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate this, actually. I hate this, James, because he's just had a dig at your club, and you could have so many digs at his. Just take it.
Not at the moment. Things are not going very well. So
oh God, here we go. Oh, you don't understand, David. You don't understand.
We just lost 2 games on a row. What is wrong with me saying that we're not doing very well?
They've only spent $2 billion.
Yeah, we spent $2 billion, and we can't even win against a really crap Manchester United team. It's like,
oh man, let's do a football podcast. There's parts of this game that I absolutely hate. My son absolutely adores it. It's crazy that it's still a cultural phenomenon to the point where everyone is talking about it at his school, and he is absolutely hammering it. God knows how many hours he's spent on this game this week. And I am playing with my pro clubs team again, and I fucking love playing FC26 with my pro clubs team. I fucking love it.
It took me ages, like an hour, to create my pro, and it still looks like a freak. Like, it feels like it's really hard this year to make someone that looks normal. And all the you can randomize all the examples. Yeah, I guess so. But I just want to make a normal-looking human, and all examples are absolute like freaks. And like, is this a joke now? You're doing this on purpose, right? And I eventually got there, but it's just I feel like they're doing it on purpose.
I've got a feeling that the next FC game might sort of push the Saudi league a little bit more than the current one is.
Ivan Toney in every team. Ronaldo, manager, etc.
God, I just realised Skate is absolutely fucked, isn't it? That's going to be gone in a year.
Yeah, that is gone.
God's
I mean,
sake.
judging by what people are saying about that game, I would be surprised even if they didn't go through with the sale that game.
Are you playing that game regularly, Sean, or not?
Yeah.
Okay, you are still.
Yeah,
okay.
I do really want to play it. When I tried to play it the other week, it was a fucking nightmare. It went
you couldn't get out
half
the
an
tutorial.
hour,
It was,
and then I went through the tutorial, and it was like, just wait here. It's like no.
It needs work, 100%. There's plenty of stuff missing, stuff not working, but yeah. But will they get the chance to do that?
No, they fucking won't.
Probably
Of course
not.
they won't. Of course they won't. That's what we've been playing this week. Let's get to some questions before we wrap this bad boy
Should we just
up.
do a couple, yeah?
Yeah.
If you want to send us a question, go to tcgs.co. Maria Mendieta says, Dear TCGS converters from RCA to HDMI, very little time was spent gaming this weekend as I was dragged to a christening. Therefore, apologies for the thematic question and for making Matt have to read and research his response beforehand. If you had to choose one of the 9 Pikmin to be your godparent based on their ability to protect you, who would you choose? Keep up the astounding work. Sincerely, Maria. There's only one answer to this, right?
Go on.
Purple. Yeah, because... Oh.
Go on.
Purple do.
The purple Pikmin. Yeah, they're the big fellas. Good at carrying, better at fighting.
Well, I need someone that can carry stuff at the moment because I don't know if I've mentioned, but I've got bad shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, James.
So
I'd have gone for the rock ones because they'd have been useful. Like when I was locked out, I could have used it to chuck through a window.
Yeah, he could have done the people's elbow through the door, couldn't he? That would have helped.
But this is to be a good godparent, right?
Very good. That I like that. If I had a little bell, a ding.
How's Sean Bell not got a fucking bell? That's sorted.
I used to have one. I had the little desk bell. I can't remember what I ever used it for. It was a gimmick.
Oh yeah, everyone's gone through that phase in their life, haven't they? What about the white Pikmin? Because they weren't
they're immune to poison.
They could, so no hangovers. But that doesn't help me, does it?
Yeah, no, this is about being a godparent, so that's not really gonna.
Yeah, it doesn't really help, does it?
So I looked into this in that I googled it, and blue Pikmin can survive in water, so I think that can be good in terms of helping your children at the beach, make sure they don't drown.
Yeah, you never drown.
Protecting them.
The red Pikmin are immune to fire, so that'd be useful.
Yeah.
Oh,
Never die in a fire, probably.
No, that's not how it works. Because that's like me saying. Yeah, but that's like me saying the white one. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Not having it. Not having it.
White people can survive poison. How often are you really going to come in contact with that as a godparent, really? Like, that feels like a waste for me.
Alcohol's a poison.
It is.
Oh, don't get political.
Think about
that. I'm not a fan of Pikmin. Let's get on to the next question.
Mark Owen. So a situation has occurred where you've been selected to get an electronic chip in your brain, which enhances your memory. You get a choice of 2 chips to choose from, but they have malfunctions. Chip number 1, every time you eat something, you always bite your tongue, no matter how careful you are. Chip number 2, every time you drink something, you get brain freeze, no matter the temperature of the drink. Which chip are you taking?
Chip
2. I mean, before we get into this, like, think of a better positive side to it. Enhances your memory. I couldn't give a fuck, mate.
I don't know. That'd be a game changer for me, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Memory.
I like forgetting stuff. It means you forget all the trauma and that.
No, because I remember trauma and forget like details. But it does mean if I watch a film I've seen before, I'm like, oh, it's like a new movie almost. Or game, you know.
Do you think because it's a chip, do you think you'd have perfect control over it? So you could just go through your brain, be like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So, all right, delete those memories. They're gone.
No, it'll be a chip controlled by a tech company. We have to keep up in the monthly payment subscription. Yeah.
All right, Charlie Brooker.
Exactly.
Chip 2. Easy.
It is chip 2. It's definitely chip 2.
Really?
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. No, sorry.
Yeah, the brain
no,
freeze
you're right.
one.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
brain freeze is annoying, but biting your tongue's really painful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and-
always
and
biting my
to
tongue.
eat,
And
whereas you could get
cheeks.
away with barely drinking because you get most of your moisture through your food anyway. So
I don't think that's true, Sean.
it is true.
No,
Yeah,
I think
no,
you should
that's
drink-
not
I think you
true
should
at all.
hydrate
It
more,
is
Sean.
true.
You should
The
hydrate.
whole-
Oh, you have to drink fucking 8 pints of water a day. Shut
I
up.
dread to think how
Yeah.
dark your piss is. Sean.
You do have to drink stuff though.
Yeah, you do occasionally have to drink them. But you get a surprising amount of your liquid through.
Sean's
food.
pissing out brown liquid.
All right, you can
It's
look it
just
up
solid.
afterwards. It's fine.
Have a water, Sean. Have a fucking water. Oh,
Splash some
God.
heavy in your fucking.
Have a water. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, I'm always buying like the inside of my mouth and or tongue, so that does my nutting. So
Yeah.
definitely number
Horrible
2 for me.
thing.
Not enough people talk about those horrible little white tiny spots you get on your tongue that sting to fuck if
Ulcers.
they touch your teeth.
Oh, yeah, ulcers, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not ulcers are like sort of the big things you get on your lips, aren't they? Or in the inside of your mouth.
I thought they were the
stick-
same.
Yes.
Oh, is it
basically
the
kind
same
of-
thing?
They're not.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. But those
Yeah, you
tiny
get a lot of
little
them as
white
well.
spots on your tongue that make your eyes water because they hurt so much, they appear after you bite your tongue.
Yeah, I get them. And also the trouble is, if I bite the inside of my mouth, then it swells up, and then and then I bite the inside of my mouth more because it's swollen up. It's a fucking nightmare.
Just keep chewing onto the inside of your mouth.
You're like, anyway.
All right. One more.
One more. The real Spinkles. Says, question for Dave/James. I'm very late to the party, finally getting around to playing God of War Ragnarok, and I remember both of you discussing that the first 6 to 8 hours felt very much like more of the first game, but then something happens that really changes the game. I'm 15 hours in, and I'm not sure whether I just haven't got there yet, or whether the moment has happened and not had an impact on me. Are you able to give me a hint that won't spoil it for people yet
Yes,
to play
it's
the
easy,
game
innit?
as to what this
Yeah.
big moment was? I am enjoying the game, by the way. We just feel like it is much like the first, albeit with some extra variation thrown in. Cheeky follow-up question: if the show is short and Matt wants to stretch it, do you guys have any interest in the upcoming Ark Raiders? I haven't heard it mentioned on the show, but after playing the tech test in the summer, I'm very excited for it and think it could be pretty special. Love you, wonderful C words. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, they had a
Yeah,
trailer
so-
for Ark Raiders and TGS, and it looked good. Still.
Yeah, it does look really good. I remember a lot of the marathon previews were like, yeah, probably Ark Raiders is the one. So
No, really.
yeah.
Yeah, no, this is the easy way of describing what happens in the game. And I'm sorry if you went into it thinking it's like some big major moment. It's not.
It's not really
It's
like that, is it? It's more
Just
of a-
something. It's not like something happens and it changes the game. But all I'll say is the wall. When you
Yeah, I
get
remember you
to the
saying that.
wall, everything after that doesn't change because of that moment, but it focuses then on narrative rather than the combat.
Yeah.
Like the first bit is combat, bit of character building, combat, bit of character building. You get to the wall, then it focuses on narrative in a big way, and the stuff that it does from there, like it just feels really fucking cool. Like I remember walking through. I don't want to talk about
through that area.
walking
yeah.
through with a specific character and just thinking this is so fucking well done. Like it really does feel like elevated over the everything that's come before it. It was fucking great, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first few hours. I mean, definitely within 15. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like the first, maybe the first 6 to 8, I guess.
Well, this is it. I think the real Sprinkles has thought that there was some big major event that happens, and that's not what we meant. We were just saying that was a very good line in the sand to say, okay, this is where
now the
we
game's
sort of
opened up
progress
and
things. Yeah,
showing us why there's a
for
sequel
sure.
rather than it's more the same. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. I'm just amazed because we've got a question that's like really video game related. All right, no, Maria Mendieta with the Pikmin stuff. That's fine. But I have been listening to like the feedback at the and the questions recently. I thought they know this is a gaming podcast, right? That's it. That's it for this week. I'm looking forward to the socials, as is everyone.
Yes. So we stream this show live every Monday night from 8:30 p.m. UK time on twitch.tv/tcgsco. You can watch us live there. You can follow us on Twitch as well. And if you have an Amazon account and a Twitch Prime account, you can connect your account and you get a free sub, which you can give to any channel. And why not go to our channel and give us your free sub? We really appreciate those that do. Phil, did I not say 8:30 Monday? I said 8:30 on Monday, did I? Or did I say something else? It doesn't matter. I'm fairly sure
We're
I
not
said
sitting and
8:30.
waiting for someone to reply on the.
I'm fairly sure I said. Oh yeah, actually, wait, it doesn't matter. 8:30, 8:45, whatever. It's Monday night.
Be ready from 8:30.
Yeah, Jesus.
Get
Anyway, yeah,
your seat earlier.
If you miss this or want to watch it later or watch the streams we've done recently, go to YouTube, search TCGS on YouTube. There's a couple of videos now of Sean's recent Not Sure About That streams. Is that it now, Sean?
That is it. It's
back to
done.
that?
Finished.
Cool. Oh, you finished the game, did you, on Friday?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Nice. Well, they're both on YouTube, but the whole thing, everything you can find for us is tcgs.co. There's links there to our YouTube channel, Discord, our Blue Sky account, Patreon, our store, Strava. It's all on tcgs.co.
Thank you so much for living it. It's been a delight producing this podcast for you this week. We will produce another one next week.
I won't.
And that one will be about video games. Oh, yes, there's no Sean next week. Sean
I'm
is
not going
away.
to get to read all the feedback about the water stuff. Oh, what a shame.
It's all right, we'll save that.
I'll just leave it, it's
Ian Lee is on next week. We will be talking about the show that we're doing this Sunday. I'm sure he will make me feel dreadful about how I completely ruined his show. We will catch you then. Hope you have a lovely week. Take care, everyone. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.